Okay. Let's get it. So they changed the Cracker Barrel. The Cracker Barrel is no longer the Cracker Barrel. It's the Woke Barrel now. We'll cover that a little later, but we got lots of Metal Gear Solid Delta stuff to cover. It's coming up on Thursday of next week. I am super hyped to get back into it and play it. It's Friday, boys!
Why'd you defect?
I didn't. I'm loyal to the end, to my purpose.
Snake, I know how you're feeling. It's hard for me to believe, too, that a legendary hero like the boss would go over to the Russians. She'd double-cross us like this.
Oh, look at those graphics. Holy smokes!
We will use the legacy to heal that rift and make the world whole again. To do this, we need strength, an unstoppable trump card with enough power to bring order to the world.
Do you love her?
No, nothing like that.
Do you hate her?
For 10 years, we lived and died together. You couldn't possibly understand.
And you think you can kill her now?
Hey, don't you go getting any funny ideas.
We can't leave yet. I've still got one last job to do.
She's at the lake. She's waiting for you there.
We were together for 10
Damn, they
years,
made
huh?
Eva look freaking hot.
She's waiting for you there.
We were
Jesus.
together for 10 years, and now you tell me she's my enemy.
What about you, Jack? What's it going to be? Loyalty to your country or loyalty to me? Your country or your old mentor? The mission or your beliefs? Your duty to your unit or your personal feelings? You don't know the truth yet. But sooner or later you'll have to choose. I don't expect you to forgive me.
You've got to do it, Snake. She's your enemy and your objective.
You're a soldier. Finish your mission. Prove your loyalty. I've been waiting, Snake. Waiting for your birth, your growth, and the finality of today.
Dang, let's go. The heck is this? Yo, right? What the heck? Maybe. Oh. Huh. That kind of reminds me of, what's the name of that game where you are playing as little space people and you... I don't think I'm going to be able to find it. It reminds me of that game where you go around in a spaceship. Lethal Company. It reminds me of Lethal Company, dude. Think, dumb. Brain is still defrosting, I guess. We're gonna move this back. We're gonna react to that, but I'm gonna move it back. Oh, we're gonna move that one back too. We got some trailers first.
Establishing connection. Core Ripper active. Hyper unit is mission go. Give him hell, Hyper.
I think I remember seeing some streamers play this game. It didn't look that good. It looked okay.
Sorry about the neighbors. There's always trouble with them. A hyper unit in the flesh. Nexus was not lying about you. You are built on a phantom core. That makes you basically immortal.
What?
You, my dear.
I think this is a single player experience.
Science. I have a proposition for you.
This looks kind of crazy, though. I think Metal Eden is single player. It's Metal Eden single player. Is Metal Eden single player? Jesus. Yes, it is single player. Follow the light. Is that a boat? That looks like a boat. Morse code. That's pretty. So you can drive the boat, okay. Go. I don't think that's how that works. That game seems a little weird. Will follow the light. Follow the light. Oh, Payday 2, huh? The heist game? It must be a 4-player heist game. Why do they always make the guns look so weird? I like that kind of trailer, short, sweet, and to the point. Who does not forgive? Neither does nature. It does. You know what? That game did look a lot like Metroid, didn't it? I was gonna say that too.
So there I was, low lunar orbit, navigating my descent to
Woke!
the regolith. Just log a report, a routine assignment. Easy. But the moon doesn't do easy. Scanning lunar artifacts was my mission, but I was told next to nothing about the lines I had to cross, the enemies I'd face, who I might lose, or how it would change me.
Any monsties? Oh.
My mission
Astro
seemed
Bot.
hopeless. But I'm not dying here. Not me, and not the ones I love. This isn't the end. It's a new beginning.
What is this AI sounding voice, dude? Like, what is this? This is weird. This is a weird game. The voice was obviously done by AI. It's weird. What is this?
Good evening, Carter.
This is not what I thought. I don't
Good evening,
know what the hell this is. Get this off my screen. Get that off my screen. I don't even know what that is. They bring in Factorio to the console. I was never able to play Factorio when it came to PC. Hopefully I can play it for console. Nice. What's going on? What's happening? Oh, that's it? Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection. Nigel, this has you written all over it.
Yeah, guys in their 20s. What kind of video game are they gonna make? We knew that there was something special going on.
Fight!
Oh, wow! Look at that! Mortal Kombat 2, 3, Mortal Kombat Ultimate, 4 Trilogy. There's 2 more. Tournament edition. I thought it said Torment. It's Tournament edition.
Fatality.
Ah, that makes sense. Street Fighter's good. Whoa. Holy Jesus.
The freedom that we were given.
Wow, that's cool.
In hindsight, was incredible.
So they have actual, like, they have the old school, like, sketches and everything, like the behind the scenes. That's crazy. Yo, it's been so long since I've seen a game come with this. I used to have the original God of War for PlayStation 2, the first and second one, and it came with a double disc. And on the second disc, it talked about the God of War games. So good. Really bringing back those old Atari games, huh? This is more like an arcade game, but it had Atari at the bottom. Oh, is that it? Oh man, here we go, boys. Here we go. So not only do we get this, but we also get the review. IGN, I'm warning you. That's the only warning you're gonna get. Here we go, let's do it! Oh, what happened? Sokolov. Just standing out in the middle.
Good work, Jack.
What are you doing here?
Sokolov.
This is called the incandescent Cobra unit, and it unlocks after the completing the story. So I guess, like, whenever you beat the game, a whole bunch of new stuff pops up. It's gonna add, like, a whole new thing to the game. What? More replayability? Oh! No.
My friends, let us fight together again.
I have waited long for this day.
We will fight with you once more. Welcome back, boss.
I'll take a look at it.
Now that all 5 of us are together, it's time we go.
I'll have to send a email to see if I can react to it, though. All bees. Do they ever specifically state if they're bees or hornets? They look like hornets. They don't look like bees. See, those look like hornets. That looks like a damn hornet to me. But he calls them bees. What the fuck?
The pain. The fear. I'm coming home. I have no regrets.
Did they all die? What the heck did they add to this? What the heck? You're the boss's face. What is this? All new secret theater? Oh God. What the? Wait, what? Wait, is that the guy from Groznygrad? Isn't he dead? He's totally dead! What is happening?
So, you're the intruder everyone's talking about. Put that thing away. You'll spoil my drink. It's him.
Yo, what the fuck?
Sokolov. It's him you're looking for, isn't it?
Yo, this is weird.
I have been stripped of my authority. My research has come to nothing.
Tank does not need a rocket. Needs something else. Legs.
Yo, what is this? Yo, this doesn't look anything like the original game. What the fuck? How do you unlock these? Wait, so Snake?
You'll be killed.
Switch places with Granin.
Legs that allow it to go anywhere. Just as when humans learn to walk upright.
What is
That's
happening?
the real revolution in weaponry. Don't you agree? Listen to me, you fool.
What are you talking about?
Put that thing away. You'll spoil my drink.
So confused.
You mean you've never heard of me? And you call yourself an agent? Very well, then. I am Alexander Leonovich Granin.
Granin!
Are you going to kill him?
So they made this character switch places between Colonel Volgin, the boss, and Snake 3 times. How did they even... This is so weird. Because, like, some of the movement was supposed to be movement that Snake did. So, like, first he came into the room, he was Colonel Volgin. And then when he held Boss, the woman, whenever he had her in the chokehold, that was supposed to be Snake in Boss's position. And that was supposed to be the boss where Granin was. And then he switched places with Snake by grabbing the gun. Because that movement was meant for Snake. Like, what is even happening anymore?
It is a revolutionary mobile nuclear missile system. A bipedal tank.
Maybe just to be fun. Oh! Now he's Volgin because of the electricity. God, these graphics look amazing. The shadows.
Yes, a walking tank.
By the way, this is dead Granin. You see him in the barrel in Groznygrad when he gets killed by Colonel Volgin. So this is dead Granin. And this is after that scene, by the way.
This is the Order of Lenin. It is in honor of the greatest magnate, given along with socialism. Only the finest.
Revolver!
It was a
Ocelot!
Brilliant contributions to society. What is going on?
Bro got crossfired just by standing there.
Do with a rocket engine on a tank. Tank does not need a rocket. Needs something else.
That's supposed to be Snake. By the way, Sokolov, the guy in the white uniform, that's supposed to be Snake. And Volgin is beating him up, but instead it's Sokolov and oh god, Granin. That's crazy. That's actually crazy. Oh no, not this scene.
Did we beat him?
No.
Okay, so everyone's in the right position right now. What's gonna happen with this scene? Is it gonna be Granin again? Who's it gonna be? It's Granin again. Oh.
No, you're the intruder everyone's talking about. Typical capitalist dog.
Whoa!
No manners.
What? What? Sokolov is dead at this point. The boss is in the flower fields, and Ocelot got left in the dust.
Tank does not need a rocket. It needs something else.
He's good.
I am Alexander Leonovich Grani. Yeah.
Granin Rising? Oh my god. Dude, I can't.
Walking tank.
Is this actually going to be in the game?
Robot.
So like Metal Gear Rising? He's shirtless Snake. Sigint and Medic?
You are above even the boss. I hereby award you the title of Big Boss.
No shot! Spin that metal skin! No shot! Yo, his face! Oh, no way! Oh my god! Holy crap, man! I got... Oh my god!
I hereby award you the title of Big Boss.
Oh my god!
You are a true patriot.
Oh, oh, jeez. He's got a pin. His face, man.
Damn.
No. Oh no.
You know, we could use an infiltration unit like Fox in the army. Someone like him to handle our top secret sneaking missions for us. A man who combines the qualities of a soldier and an agent.
Oh god. Said damn. He's gonna have one too? Oh man, I was hoping he'd like walk out of there with like a What is even happening anymore? Oh!
I am a patient man.
What is even happening, bro? Yeah, it's live. Yo, are they really gonna add all these to the new game? What is that in his chest? What is that on his chest? What is that? Is that a leech? Why does he have a leech on his left back? Oh, that's right. They did input this armor, didn't they? It's like the battle armor. I need to pre-order this game. Is it just gonna fall off? Is it gonna like hit the metal and fall off?
You are above even the boss. I hereby award you the title of Big Boss.
Yo, they had too much fun with this. They had too much fun with this metal scene. Hey, look at what. Oh my god, dude, that was great. That brought me such joy in my life. I needed that. Oh, that was great. That was awesome.
5, 4.
All right. Review time.
Spread your wings and
IGN. I don't place threats idly. You fuck with a trilogy and we're gonna have a problem.
Where do you draw the line with a remake? How do you balance creative freedom and remaining true to the original? Everyone's answer is somewhat different, but for Konami, staying faithful was the top priority with Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater, the remake
straight
of the 2004 stealth action game that was led by Hideo Kojima. And not being shy about crediting Kojima and his team throughout, Konami preserved Snake Eater in a way that's nearly one-to-one, other than a massive visual overhaul. So while it has definitely aged in the 21 years since, there's a certain novelty to its old-school stealth action gameplay and spy thriller story that still hits. Especially with the way Snake Eater wraps up, how can you not be romantic about Metal Gear Solid all over again?
What a weird choice in romantic? What? What a weird choice in words.
If you've played Snake Eater, almost everything will be familiar to you. It's the same captivating story, delivered with the same mix of melodrama and a little conflicted at times. Does that sheen atop the new photorealistic graphics take the edge off of the original stylings? Not entirely, but there are where this is how I remember it looking when I was blown away by the PS2 version as a teenager.
That's what's crazy is like the PlayStation 2 version of this game was like ahead of its time by years. Because even the little boxes that were on the ground had numbers and letters and said what they were.
The first time. But now,
the graphics were
it
so
actually
stunning.
does look this good.
I am the sorrow. Like you, I too am filled with sadness.
Konami put in considerable effort to maintain Snake Eater's classic touches by offering the legacy-style camera angle that uses the old bird's eye view, along with the original control scheme. As much as I appreciate the nostalgia though, the new style is the
I react to IGN because I don't have to worry about getting a copy strike.
Optimal way to play. The over-the-shoulder angle.
Unless they're willing to answer a freaking email, which it seems like a lot of these people don't, then I'm just going to stick to IGN.
That doesn't detract from the way it was meant to be played.
Besides, if anything, this is just to make fun of IGN if they review something badly.
Which we already knew because of the other re-releases that had to come out with this camera angle, including the 2012 3DS version.
Doubt.
I also prefer it because
I really doubt that they would mess this game up.
Delta's newfound detail
It did
closer
make its
to the
pack
ground
look a little
level,
bit bigger,
and it's
though.
been made less rigid and more accommodating by some new accessibility options. Even little things like being able to use the original UI elements along with the new style camera show it isn't stubborn about letting you tailor things to your liking. Unexpectedly, the most impactful option for me was the color filters. I played the entire game with the legacy filter and found it much better than the somewhat sterile default look. As someone very attached to this—
Why? Dude, that's the whole point of the new game.
Specific color palette and aesthetic of the original Snake Eater, this was close enough for me.
Oh!
Perhaps the thing I enjoyed most about this remake was that I found the old school stealth action to be oddly refreshing. At a time when series like Splinter Cell, Thief, and well,
He got
Metal Gear
seen.
Solid
He got seen. This guy's a loser. He's not playing in European Extreme.
are largely absent in the modern gaming world, playing through Snake Eater tapped into that part of my brain again.
You killed
Each
him!
section feels like a puzzle to be solved, where guards and terrain are your obstacles, and your limited gear leaves room for creativity. I was also reminded that reactivity is a defining feature of the Metal Gear series. Whether I'm dropping dirty magazines to distract guards or popping out of a cardboard box for a close quarters takedown, that mix of deliberate decisions and adapting when plans don't exactly work out remains satisfying.
Speak.
The thrill of evading an alert phase while hiding within inches of patrolling guards matches the high of pulling off a perfect no-kill stealth run, and toying with guards once you understand their behavior can be as fun as going in guns blazing. I still hold MGS5 The Phantom Pain in high regard for its emergent gameplay, but Snake Eater's more contained scope does make for a throwback that represents what made Metal Gear Solid so damn fun to begin with. Snake Eater's camouflage system works the same here, so you can expect different uniforms and face paint to affect your camo percentage based on the terrain you're in.
Here's a crocodile suit now?
2004 and is still a welcome layer of depth
That's
to the tried and true
crazy.
stealth gameplay that we haven't seen often since, especially when it has a genuine impact on what you can get away with in different environments. Delta has a convenient change in that you can access camo presets by holding up on the D-pad, so you don't always have to go—
Oh my god. Oh. There's presets now? I don't have to go into the menu and go over to the camouflage? No way. That's a game changer.
to the menus to make a tweak. The injury system is back, and although it's a pain to keep patching Snake up every time you make mistakes, it's on you to be careful and stay stocked with medical supplies. The hunger system remains an interesting wrinkle that's a smart alternative to typical health meters of other games.
Stabby, stabby!
Pushing you to hunt for food, find rations, and keep Snake
Nothing
fed
like goat
to
ass,
replenish his
boys.
health over time, and to make sure his tummy
So
doesn't—
what's really cool about the game is you see these flies on it, this food is rotten. So you could blow up the, like if you go to a base, you could blow up the facility's food, and then you throw one of these down, and then they get poisoned and they die. Because they'll eat it, and then they'll get poisoned and die.
and keep Snake fed to replenish his
You can
health
also use it for the fight with the fear.
over time, and to make sure his tummy doesn't grumble too loud.
Yes, if
These
your
kinds of
stomach is growling, it'll call the enemies over.
Are common today, but it's interesting to remember that Snake Eater predated a lot of the survival games of today, and it's good to see these mechanics have aged pretty well.
That's damn good.
I appreciate that the controls have mostly been modernized to align with how third-person games typically play today, but the annoying quirks of movement and interacting with your environment haven't really changed. Having Snake stick to cover, make minuscule movements in certain directions, or connect on CQC attacks can be frustrating, even if it's the sort of friction I'm used to putting up with.
He got seen.
The higher difficulties provide a fun challenge and replayability, but when I take a step back, Snake Eater is understandably not quite as expansive as it felt 20 years ago. Relative to modern games, it feels rather small in scope, and its challenges aren't quite as complex as I once thought, and that comes with the territory of a faithful remake. But even if shooting a trank dart into every guard's head—
Long cutscene, or is it long enough gameplay sections? Cause opinion. I think Metal Gear Solid 4 is amazing. If you played Metal Gear Solid 3 and you like Metal Gear Solid 3, then you'll like Metal Gear Solid 4. Dude, that's Konami's games in a nutshell. I mean, Kojima's games in a nutshell. Like, they all have really long cutscenes. Look at Death Stranding, for example. Don't listen to everything that people say online. If you liked the first 3 Metal Gear Solid games, you'll love Metal Gear Solid 4. And I love Metal Gear Solid 4.
Is the easiest solution, Metal Gear Solid is at its best when treating it as a playground for improvising. Boss fights are another area where Konami might have played a little too safe by not sprucing them up in some way, so they're a little hit or miss.
That's my favorite boss fight right there.
There are dull ones like the Pain or the Fear, where you're just waiting for a window to pop your shots.
That's
On the other hand,
the
you have
boss.
Classics like the End's Cat and Mouse Shootout and the Sorrow's novel meta layer that remind me that Snake Eater was thinking outside the box and doing things that only Metal Gear was at the time.
Bro, you don't ever dive under the water to dodge that. What is this?
Remember any of the old tricks and secrets from the original versions, just know that they all still work here in Delta.
Go home. Go back to your boss. There's no need to prove that you are virtuous here.
When it comes to the storytelling, it didn't really need changes because it's timeless. I'm a sucker for Kojima and company's embellished political drama, and with the backdrop of a nuclear arms race of the Cold War, inserting their flavor of government conspiracy is captivating to indulge in.
Do you hear me, Snake?
For all its stone-faced goofiness, Snake Eater has a story that hit in a way I didn't expect when I was younger, and after all these years, I felt a new wave of emotions revisiting it as an adult. That's due in large part to the enigmatic relationship between Snake and the boss. It's conveyed with a certain earnestness, leading to revelations that brought things full circle for Snake Eater, and
it's crazy because the first time I got Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater for the PlayStation 2, every other game I played up until that game on the main menu, you pressed X to go into the menu. Whenever you start playing, I couldn't get off the main menu because the action button, I think is either triangle, I believe it's triangle, is what you use to navigate the menu. So it took me 3 days of popping it in, getting tired of trying to figure it out, and then switching to San Andreas before I was like, I'm going to figure this out. So I pulled out the manual to the game, and I read it. And it said right there in the manual pages, use triangle to operate the home screen. And I was like, God damn, there we go. And I got in, and I absolutely fell in love with this game. This game was the first one that I played, thank God, because it means that I started with what is originally the first, and then I later played the other 2.
Metal Gear Solid as a whole at the time it came out, and it culminates in what I still consider some of the best moments in the entire series. Even twerps like Ocelot earn his respect through a rivalry with Snake that has its own little story arc.
That's major Ocelot to you.
And aside from the boss, Ava remains one of my favorite characters in the series.
Yeah, they really made her look hot in this one. I'm not gonna lie, boys. They really fleshed out her face. It looks good.
Every scene she's in and playing an important role of an agent you can't get a read on until the very end.
Bet you've never seen that technique in the West.
For as much flack as Metal Gear may get for its lengthy cinematics, Snake Eater is a focused story told at a fairly brisk pace, and it knows when to pull its far-fetched punches. Weaving in grainy old footage from historical archives alongside Yoji Shinkawa's art direction to ground its story is still effective, and these touches add texture to what's
I think they're going to give it either a 9 or a 10, because the guy likes the game, so it's either going to be a 9 or a 10.
Fail and be used as a scapegoat for your government, or succeed and become an unknown. While much of what I loved about Snake Eater is attached to the time and place of a boundary-pushing PS2 game in 2004, revisiting it through Metal
did it push some boundaries.
Gear Solid Delta in 2025 came with a big burst of modern...
I don't know any game that didn't try to... you had that Call of Duty, I think it was Modern Warfare 2, where you played as the terrorist that went into the airport and shot up the airport. That was so controversial back then. They had news reports on it, and then nothing ever came of it. You know why? Because they're just pussies. And I think that a lot of these games need to go back to boundary pushing. Seriously.
Nostalgia. It's not a particularly expansive or complex game by today's
I love that you can get the battle dress
standards, and so parts of it can be underwhelming if you're coming from a more modern Metal Gear. But more often than not, it shows how good stealth action mechanics can age well, and the political drama with Kojima's signature brand of campiness is intact.
Oh!
To me, these are the things that make Metal Gear so memorable. And while some of it is eye-rolling, the emotional highs of Snake Eater's story still hit as hard as I remember. Part of me is still curious about why this was made if it wasn't going to come with more substantial changes. But if I were to point someone to one—
Because it was just a single-player game to have fun. Not every game has to be, like, updated every other week.
One of the many versions available—
Oh, you fucking pussies. You fucking pussies. God damn it, IGN.
This is the one I would recommend.
Bro.
Whether you're revisiting or playing for the first time.
Would it kill you to rate higher? Losers.
Kojima and the original team may not have been involved in this remake, but the spirit of Snake Eater
How is there still
persists.
so much left of this video?
I have waited long for this day.
We will fight with you once more.
Executive Reviews editor Tom Marks here with Michael.
That's crazy, dude. Okay, they really gave that game an 8? That's disgusting. I need to check out PlayStation real quick. Hold on. I didn't go to PlayStation. Hold on. Where's PlayStation at? PlayStation. Boom. Oh, wait a minute. What's this? You already see this? I think you already saw this.
Why'd you defect?
I didn't. I'm loyal to the end.
No, we saw this. We just watched this earlier. Okay, what was this? So this Lost Soul aside looks really good. I kind of want to watch this. I've been hearing good things about it so far. From everyone who is paid to review it, but yes. See, that's why I don't remind IGN, because they raise you on in a 9. It's bad. Well, it's crazy because it used to be 7, but I think ever since they got a bunch of backlash from Veilguard, they've upped their game to make it harder to figure out.
其实这个项目最早的时候已经可以追溯到2014年了。
Trying to say Metal Gear Solid 3 is a
当时
bad
其实
game.
更多的是一个个人的爱好，因为我
What
个
are you
人
saying?
比较喜欢比较快节奏的、比较流畅的这种战斗的游戏。
English.
想把自己
Oh, there we go.
脑子里边的那个东西后，
The early stage of the projection can be
其
traced
实这
back
个
to
项目最早的时候已经可以追溯到2014年了。初中当时其实更
At that time, it was more of a personal
多的是一
hobby.
个个人的爱好，因为我个人比较喜欢
Camera's literally blocking the freaking. Oh, you know what? Hold on. Hate me, I don't care. I personally like fast-paced, fluid combat
比
games.
较快节奏的、比较流畅的这种战斗的游戏。想把
I
自
just
己
wanted to
脑子里边的那个东西一点点的还原。
gradually bring the things in my mind to life.
我是杨斌，我是《失落之魂》的制作人。
The creator of Lost Souls aside. The combat reminds me of Final Fantasy 13, 14, 13. Final Fantasy 13. Nope. Final Fantasy 14. Final Fantasy 15. It's not 16. It is 15. Final Fantasy 15. Fun game. Big game. With Noctis. He looks a little bit like Noctis. Yo, that looks just like Final Fantasy.
当时我需要一边学习一边制作，后来做出了最早的。
Oh, whoops. I was captivated by the gameplay. The first demo that everyone initially saw.
在刚把预告片发到网上的时候，我没有想很多，结果没想到我的邮箱马上被各种各样的邮件塞满了。之后，我的邮箱里收到了一个索尼互娱的同事发过来的邀请，我当时很震惊也很兴奋，立刻回复了他。
Yo, what a great thing to have happen to you. Like, just imagine you're just an indie developer. You're just doing your own thing, and you upload like some really good snippets of a game that you're making. And then frickin' Sony or Xbox reaches out, dude, like, and they offer you like a bunch of money to actually get a good team going and be able to like see your vision get placed in stores. That is so cool. W PlayStation.
索尼互娱的同事建立了联系，也是从那个时候开始和索尼互娱包括中国之星计划建立了最开始的接触，成为了后面深度合作的契机。
This looks amazing.
10年前，我们决定在中国开始 PlayStation 业务。
Why? Why does there need to be?
好，10年前，我们决。
Why are there 3 different? Hold on. I've got so many questions.
刚好。
Tokyo, Shanghai, London, Where's?
10年前，我们决定在中国。
That is so tacky. Oh God, I'm so sorry, guys.
刚好。
This is so tacky looking.
10年前，我们。
That's so tacky looking. Why wouldn't they put some covers on that, like a ceiling? They went through the trouble of putting PlayStation. Is that fake or is that real? Is that actually hanging on the ceiling?
决定在
It looks like it's hanging on the ceiling, dude. There's no way.
中国开始 PlayStation 业务的时候，我们决定做的方向是建立一个中国的主机游戏的生态。
Want me to up the mic audio a little bit? What's going on? Let's see. Oh, why is it being a little low? Hold on. I upped it just a tad. That's kind of crazy.
中国之星计划是鼓励。
And also, every time I turn away from the mic, like if I do this, the mic's not going to pick it up because it's set to only come out of the front. So that's my fault.
中小型的开发团队去开发高品质的游戏。
Yo, I want one of those. Not the fan.
我们也会提供给到中国开发者们各方面的资源，来帮助他们开发出更好的游戏。
最初最吸引我们的，或者说到现在为止仍然很吸引我们的是这个团队的热情和他们的专业程度。那么同时呢，这个
See, that's what these big companies are probably going to have to start doing. Instead of trying to build up from within, they need to start reaching out to these indie developers and trying to get them aboard the team with these nice big fat contracts. Because the thing is that PlayStation, a lot of their in-house developers, they're done. They're washed up. A lot of them have sold their stocks and they become millionaires and they've moved out of the company altogether. Like the original founders of a lot of these games like Horizon, God of War, they've either been kicked off the team or they've just sold the team altogether, collected their money and left. You need to start investing in these indie developers outside of the studio. That's where the new money's going to be. I promise you that's where the new money's going to be right there. It's trying to just look around and see these indie developers trying to work hard on their games and then sending them a big, fat, beautiful, money-rich contract and offer them teams and resources and funding and a lot of funding and a big, yeah.
项目从项目的层面来看呢，他们的美术呢是做得非常不错的。然后呢，姚明老师呢自己也是。
This gives me No Man's Sky vibes.
那么
a lot of people like to poop on that game whenever it first came out, but it had a skill book that gave like art just like that.
呢，还希望呢能够帮助这个团队，帮助这个项目能够更上一层楼。
我们会花很长的时间，让团队能够在不同的理念碰撞下交流，最终做出大家都满意的作品。比如我们的美术同事，他创作了一个新的概念设计、新的原画。
That's awesome.
当我看到的时候，觉得这其实是我没有想到的东西。这东西它是一种惊喜。我也逐渐意识到，我们的项目已经突破了我个人的能力上限，项目成为了一个团队的作品。 我们在不断突破团队的上限。从开始到现在，我一直觉得我们的游戏最大的特色就是流畅爽快的战斗，这也是我自己最喜欢的部分。
我们的战斗设计呢，是主打爽快战斗类，和猎天使、魔女、鬼泣这种都属于是 hack and slash 这类，然后
也有很多种像火、雷、冰这种
That reminds me so much of Final Fantasy
元素的类型。剑的攻击里会挥舞出火焰来，这个我觉得是。
I guess by definition, this would probably fall under the not Souls-like category. It's live action, but not a Souls-like.
整个上手的打击感也非常的棒，这就归功于我们的。
I bet the harder difficulties in this game are just mind-blowingly hard.
我们的战斗设计以及我们的音效各方面的一个通力合作。
为此，我们实际上克服了很多困难。所有的设计都是围绕着战斗的流畅度展开。我们在设计 BOSS 的过程中有一个理念，就是尽可能塑造形态各异的种类。
I might actually play this on stream when it comes out. This looks really good.
或者小体型的，有敏捷类的，也有力量型的。我们希望玩家在这个过程中一直有比较新鲜的体验。不一样的体验。
Yeah, that looks just like Final Fantasy.
不光是战斗
，the way the assassinations are when you kill an enemy, it's almost exactly like a 1-for-1.
整个《失落之魂》的故事也围绕着这两个角色展开。他们怎么相遇？他们怎么一起去解决？不光是他们。能让玩家觉得这么多年的等待也是。
This might be a really good game. I look forward to seeing it come out. I wanna know more about it. Hopefully in English. No offense to anybody, but PC features. Oh man, we're being consoleless now. That's fucked up. You can't be consoleless with a game like this. That's fucked up. You can't do that. What you mean PC features? Oh, the music. Oh, yeah. That hits just right. Oh my god, no way. They actually optimized the game to come out in 4K? Holy god, that's revolutionary, unheard of, unprecedented. Hell, not even Monster Hunter Wilds had that. Yeah. Why is it so hard to do the things the right way? That's what you can always tell the difference between an indie developer and some multi-billion-dollar business just trying to make a cash grab. Indie's always going to do it right the first time. Usually. DualSense, okay, so it's got PlayStation support. Ooh, fancy. PlayStation. I'm so curious about this one. Whoops.
I fight for everyone!
If you haven't seen the anime for this, I think it's pretty good. Not gonna lie.
But still, I also can't pretend I didn't see you crying in there!
With the greatest roster of heroes and villains to ever clash, are you ready for one last smash?
To protect everyone! I can do it now!
Okay, let's go.
Let's go all out!
Enter the fray in teams of 3. Victory is achieved when you eliminate all 3 members of the opposing team.
Yo, tell me why this looks like 3D Smash.
Between characters, strategic character switching can counter your opponents and create new opportunities for you. Time your switch commands correctly during attack combos to seamlessly swap characters and continue the assault. Switching characters while guarding.
Yo, I ain't even gonna lie, this looks better than the, that Invincible Versus. Why does the combat in this look better than Invincible Versus? Like,
can be a highly effective tactic to turn defense into offense. With normal controls, even beginners can pull off impressive combos with simplified controls.
Destroy everything, that's all.
Master the 4 core actions: target combo, counterattack, guard, and unblockable attack to dominate the battlefield. Combat is a battle of wits.
That's what it reminds me of. It kind of reminds me of, if you've ever seen playthroughs or like gameplay, or played for that matter, any of the Dragon Ball Z games that are like the fighter ones. That's what it reminds me of.
Quirks and timing. Outsmart your opponent and target open.
The quirks are their superpowers. That's what they call them in their universe. They're called quirks, not superpowers.
To unleash devastating combos. If your opponent gets the upper hand, use evade action or counter crash.
This looks like it's gonna be good, actually. I'm kind of surprised. Oh, shoot. Oh, there we go. Hopefully we don't have very many more of these, and then we're gonna actually react to the good stuff. This is good stuff, but still. Wasn't Stalker 2? When did Stalker 2 Heart of Chernobyl come out? Yeah. Did Stalker 2 Heart of Chernobyl release on PlayStation 5? I didn't know that. I thought it did. Huh. I really thought it did. Oh, that might be it. I think we're finally done. Oh, what's this? I don't care. I'm gonna use the bathroom, and then we're gonna hop into some actual Druma. Some actual Druma. Okay, so while I got some eyes here, since it's Friday, if you guys have any people y'all want me to react to, please put it in the chat. Give me their YouTuber name, and I'll go to their channel, and I'm going to send out a bunch of emails this weekend and see if I can't get some more reaction content. I'd rather ask than take the chance in getting a copy strike again, because that absolutely fucked my channel into oblivion. I don't need another one, especially not now that I'm getting a little bit of pickup. So, yes, if you guys want me to react to something specific, I will gladly ship over an email. So just drop some YouTuber names in the chat, and I'll send out some emails this weekend. I'll write them down on my little notepad I got right here. I'll send all that good stuff out. That's right, free schlep, man. Damn Roblox. Hey, we haven't heard nothing from Schlep, have we? I hope he's doing good. Boys, they changed the Cracker Barrel. We're going to react to this whole video, so I hope y'all locked in. Because this is at the heart of every American tradition. When you go to Cracker Barrel, you think, wow, racism really existed. And now it's gone.
Barrel has done a logo update. Let's go ahead and take a look at the update. Cracker Barrel. This is the old.
This is the Karen that is ruining our society.
Old Cracker Barrel logo.
They even got rid of the cracker, man. That was like the most important part of the Cracker Barrel. It's a cracker leaning up against a barrel. It can't. They got rid of the old country store.
One. I don't know how you do this.
And it's not just the logo that they've changed. They've also changed the interior. And the CEO, which is this Karen, lied about them not changing the interior.
I mean, I was going to make this joke on Twitter, but then I saw 50 other people already made it, so I didn't. But not only did they get rid of the barrel, but they also got rid of the cracker. They got rid of everything. Who the fuck asked for this? What's going on?
I grew up at Cracker Barrel a little bit. When my grandfather would take us there, we'd always sit there and play the triangle. It makes me really sad to think that not even that is sacred anymore.
On!
Honestly, the feedback's been overwhelmingly positive that people like what we're doing.
Well,
Frankest.
Well, I mean, not really, though, right? Yeah, I mean, but, like, not really.
I use the water to wake me up so that way I can stay on my game. That's what the water's for, if you're wondering. It gives me a little boost of energy sometimes. Not all the time.
Give you another soundbite. I actually happened to be in Orlando last week with all of our managers. We bring them together every other year. And
so she's the CEO.
That's unfortunate.
This has completely radicalized me against liberal women. It took you this long? It's the way it goes, right? Hey, you know?
Oh.
At least he got there, right?
the number one question that I got asked, Michael, was, how can I get a remodel? When can I get a remodel? How do I get on the list?
Do you know why they're saying this to you? Because they know that this is going to happen, and they want to be ready for it, regardless of how they think or feel.
Really? So because the feedback and the buzz is so good, not only from our customers, but from our team members. They want to work in a wonderful restaurant.
Where do these people get these figures from? I don't understand it. This happens every time these companies decide to do something weird like this, and they pull this like statistic out of, I guess, thin air, where it's like, oh, the feedback is so good, it's so great, yay! Like, do you pay these people? Like, do you have a general idea of what you're even saying? Boys, I'd like to say that we may be witnessing the death of Cracker Barrel.
So we're doing everything for our guests and our team members.
When Julie Messino, it's wonderful to have you here.
Pleasure to be here.
Thank you for answering those questions for all the Cracker Barrel fans out there.
Somer.
There's a lot of great changes.
Thank you so much.
All right, thank you.
So there's a guy that actually went into the Cracker Barrel. I'm pretty sure. Let me see if I find this video. A guy went in there and checked it out. So, and this is the way it is. Like, because we have a Cracker Barrel that's on I-35. My dad and I have been there. I mean, you in Austin, you know.
I'm not going to react to anything unless I email and ask first. I just can't. I can't, dude. Like, I was getting thousands of views on my videos before I got copy struck 2 weeks ago, and now I'm barely hitting like 500. And the copyright ended on Monday of this week. I'm not going through that again. I'm sorry, dude. I'm not doing it. That absolutely decimated my viewership on YouTube.
Where it is. It's near the Cabela's. And my dad had been there. My dad and I've been there many, many times. This is the way Cracker Barrel looks. This is the way it's all.
And what's crazy is that on the other side of this, there's a store. There's a store on the other side of this where you can go and buy a bunch of toys or like knickknacks or junk. And the interior looks like this now.
Always look, right? And so anyway, I love that. Yeah, this is, and again, you go there, and it is.
Yeah, it's old-fashioned. It's like a blast from the past.
One. Mission accomplished. It's comfy? Yep, it definitely is.
It is.
And so anyway, yep, it's a sacred holy space. Yep, it
was.
Yeah, exactly, right? And let's see, so... Jesus Christ. Okay, let me see if I can find this. It's a uniform. Cracker Barrel CEO. Oh, no. Maybe they should just make it illegal to wear these glasses.
Maybe.
I think that's the solution.
Saw on the internet dude said he ate in a remodeled Cracker Barrel.
Bro, that don't even look the same. What is this? What is this? Why are there...
He hated it, and I want to join in on the hate.
They didn't mess with the store. The store looks a little bit of the same.
If the Cracker Barrel don't...
Why is it white? It's so weird. Like, the old rustic really fits in with the tables, but, like, nothing looks right.
Look like the Jim Crow South. I can't eat there.
And everybody thinks this. Everybody thinks this, by the way. Absolutely.
What is going on with the cups and these cutting boards and these rolling pins? They do realize that the pictures that were originally up on this wall were authentic. They're like from like Southern, like South history. Like, they do realize that the whole point of going to a Cracker Barrel is mostly for the experience, not the food. Their food is mid. The experience is genuine.
See, what a lot of people, and this is especially true with people that are not from the South, everybody knows that, yes, obviously, there used to be...
some dickhead that I reacted to it was like a Death Stranding 2 animation that they had made, and they struck my channel. And I'm grateful that, you know, I was able to get it down to 2 weeks. Otherwise, it would have been a quarter of the year, 3 months, 90 days of being struck because he was trying to, I guess, push the law for himself. But I challenged that shit, and thankfully he didn't take me to court, which is I'm happy about. But he wouldn't have gotten anything from me anyway because the video didn't make any it was part of a stream, but the video didn't make any money because I'm just a small YouTuber. In fact, the day after I got copy struck, I got monetized. Funny enough.
A lot of race stuff, and, you know, I'm sure there still is with some of them. But there's a lot of black people that go to Cracker Barrel. There's a lot of Mexicans that go to Cracker Barrel. They love it.
No, Cracker Barrel is it's history. It's cozy. It's a place you go to relax.
You gotta have the racism aesthetic. You gotta have the rockin'.
Let me go back.
Oh,
I'll turn it up a little bit more.
He's saying it.
Saw on the internet, dude said he ate in a remodeled Cracker Barrel and he hated it. And I want to join in on the hate. If the Cracker Barrel don't look like the Jim Crow South, I can't eat there.
Bring it back.
You gotta have the racism.
Bring back the
That's
aesthetic.
A black dude saying this too. That says something.
Just the aesthetic, not the whole thing. Just
the aesthetic. Yes.
Aesthetic. You got to have the rocking chairs and the hint of segregation in the air.
Bring it back.
If I don't feel like I'm on the set of Sinners, then how do I know I'm in a Cracker Barrel?
That's right.
This is a gentrified Cracker Barrel. They just took all the character out of it. And I know the edges of the pancake ain't burnt. I got to feel like somebody wants to say, "Good morning, boy," when I go in.
Oh, God.
With respect.
Yeah.
And no respect at all. I feel like they want me to work there, but they don't want to pay me.
That's right.
And I've got to live there. That's Cracker Barrel's thing. You take that away, what is it? A Denny's, IHOP, a place I don't want to be at.
Exactly. That's the problem with it. Is like their food is not the best. It's okay. It was always about the atmosphere for the Cracker Barrel.
No, 100% We need to go back. Yeah, not back 150 years. Just back 2 years. Just 2 years. That's it. That's all. Just
it ain't even got to be 2 years. The change happened this year.
I'll watch the Benny Johnson video.
Here at
Okay, I'm gonna split this bitch right here. Future self. The split is at 524. I'm gonna write that down so that way whenever I go to edit this out later.
Cracker Barrel, we value diversity. Here at Cracker Barrel, we value diversity, equity, and...
No, it's in the name. It's in the name.
That's right.
The last thing that you value.
That's right. That's right.
What do you mean?
Inclusion. That's why we are going one step further to ruin our brand. We are investing millions of dollars into replacing...
So tell me why. They changed the rules of this pyramid thing. Now there's 2 white pins or 3 white pins you can't move. Used to, you were able to jump every pin, right? Now there's 2 pins on the game that you can't move because they changed the rules of it.
of brown pegs in the peg game to bright, colorful pegs.
Yep.
Also, we're changing the rules. The white pegs are not allowed to move or jump anymore, leaving the colored pegs to do whatever they want. We call it
White pegs can't jump.
Down with the Cracker. It's about being fair.
Down with the Cracker! Yo, who made this?
In an unfair world.
Wow.
Are you down with the Cracker?
Man. But wait, isn't that more racist? I was just thinking about this more. Oh, jeez.
I need to write down the Benny show.
What's up, guys? It's Benny. We've already seen the single most disastrous rebrand in the history of corporate
so far
culture.
So, yeah.
I guess it says New Coke.
Because you got to realize something. You got to realize something. They changed the Indian guy, or the Native American that was on the butter brand. They changed Aunt Jemima. They changed the Cracker Barrel now. They've changed, what else? What else have they changed? There was something else, I can't remember it. The only thing that we have left is the Quaker Oats guy. He's the only one left, man. He's the only one we have left.
Yeah. If you're old enough to remember that, this Jaguar, men in
Yo,
dresses.
This Jaguar commercial crashed the Jaguar stocks.
Woke eunuchs running around androgynously and obesely.
It's weird, bro. This shit was weird.
With no cars featured.
Yeah.
Ended up in Jaguar.
Wait, we're selling cars?
Just 49 cars. 49 cars.
Jesus Christ.
That's
an incomplete data
statistic.
statistic.
That is a crazy looking vehicle.
Because these new models have not been fully released to market yet. So we don't entirely know how many of them they're actually going to sell because the amount and the dealerships are not fully loaded with them yet. To be fair, I still don't think it's going to go well. By the way, I'm not saying it's going to go well. I'm just saying that we can't be sure that it hasn't gone well yet. That's all.
It won't.
Not.
I mean, look at what happened to Budweiser. Budweiser did the same thing, and they had to make a formal apology because no one. Right? It was Budweiser, wasn't it? Let me double check myself. Hold on. Did Budweiser make a formal apology? Or was it Anheuser? Anheuser. Yep, it was Anheuser, which was part of Budweiser. Which is part of Budweiser, had to make a formal apology whenever they went with the transgender thing. It's just not a hill that's worth dying on, guys. It's not.
You know, the first thing about selling a car, I could probably sell more cars than 49. This is a complete and total nightmare, and it's a nightmare inspired by, of course, this. Do you sell cars?
Cars? Yeah.
In one of the greatest replies in the history of all of X, you see here, 7.3 million views.
That's what blows my mind. If you sell cars, why would you want to make a commercial like this? The commercial should center around somebody being in the car or around the car itself. I don't even think they featured a vehicle in the commercial for Jaguar. It makes no sense.
Cars, yeah. But I guess we spoke too soon.
With Cracker Barrel, it's do you... Oh, wow. Oh, shit.
Because, ladies and gentlemen, Cracker Barrel has done it. Cracker Barrel has rebranded, and I hate it.
You guys like that?
It looks stupid.
We like to have a little bit of fun here.
Thanks. I hate it. Cracker Barrel rebranded from their classic, totally iconic...
They can't call it Old Country Store anymore.
Store logo, where you probably have countless memories with your grandparents. I know I certainly do.
I have multiple photos of my dad and I eating at Cracker Barrel. And my dad will look at the things on the wall and he'll be like, I remember when that one was a new thing. Well, I remember whenever they came out with that. Well, I remember when that came out. And I'm like, damn, bro, imagine being so fucking old that you go to like a nostalgia place and you know about everything that's there.
Well, now you don't want me to react to them, huh?
It's like, oh, I remember when they invented the wheel. Yep. That was a crazy day.
And got rid of the cracker and the barrel.
Okay, see, it's not just me.
The white guy.
That's right.
Sitting outside of the Cracker Barrel store. White people are about to riot. Is it too much to ask?
That's right.
I don't think there's going to be riots of this, but I wouldn't be surprised if people stop eating at the Cracker Barrel. I can probably see the stocks of Cracker Barrel. I think they've already gone down quite a bit. I can only imagine what the rest of the, like, I don't understand why the CEO at Cracker Barrel thought that this was going to be a good idea. It just doesn't make any sense.
Fat stack of diabetes.
Every company that has stepped forward and done this has gotten shot down big time.
Served by a lady named Maud, smoking 2 packs a day.
Yeah.
Extra syrup. Ladies and gentlemen, it's getting sticky because the CEO of Cracker Barrel is as woke as they come.
How do these people get into power? Bro, it's a struggle to get anywhere in this damn country. How do these weird ass people get into positions they're in? It makes no sense to me. How? Did mommy or daddy give you the company? Like, how did you even?
What a surprise! A great American brand.
Wow!
Look at who this is.
It's a tradition.
Wow.
She's turned Cracker Barrel gay. Cracker Barrel.
Cracker Barrel gay? What? Hold up.
Alphabet.
Put too much fluoride in the water.
Alliance.
What?
Supporting home office.
What the fuck?
Field employees to bring.
See, this is the kind of shit that's going to get gay marriage rights overturned. Right here. This is what's going to do it. This is the kind of stuff that's going to make people become radicalized in the country. That's already done quite a huge amount. People are tired of having this shoved down their throat every time things start to go back to normal. There's something else like this that has to just slap you in the face. They just do. I don't get it. It's so weird. It's so stupid, and it's so pointless.
Their whole selves do work while strengthening Cracker Barrel's relationship with the Alphabet community. What does this have to do with
the Alphabet community?
The bottom of it brown.
And hot syrup. Nostalgia's dead. R.I.P. Cracker Barrel guy. Why would you get rid of the guy?
Yeah.
Why would you get rid of? So literally,
everybody
the last
knows
white mascot standing is a Quaker Oats dude. That's it. This is the Quaker Oats man is totally unbothered. They got rid of a bunch of black mascots too, right? Uncle Ben's gone. Aunt Jemima gone.
And Uncle Ben. I believe Uncle Ben was part of a sausage company. Uncle Ben mascot. What was Uncle Ben featured on? What was the Uncle Ben mascot featured on? Jesus. Oh, it looks like rice. I think it's rice. It's rice, okay. It's so stupid.
It's gone.
I think that there's like this inclination that people have in order to assume that anything that's reminiscent of a old school Southern vibe has an inherent level of racism to it. Which is not entirely wrong. But that's just the way it was.
The only people that have a problem with this are people that are trying to get money for something that happened 160 years ago. That's really what's going on here, is they want reparations for things that didn't really bother them. Like, if they had rights to property and it got taken away, like what happened in, there was like a beach home that had gotten taken away, and then the value of it went skyrocketed, and then they later actually got the house back for free and were able to sell it and actually get wealth. But a lot of people that have problems with this, they themselves are racist and want to blame the entire problems that go on in Black American communities on what white people did 160 years ago. But that's not the case. Like, I never owned a slave. My family never owned a slave. I don't know anybody whose family owned a slave within the past 160 years. Most of those people are fucking dead because it was 160 years ago. Like...
And also, this doesn't necessarily have that anymore. Nobody looks at this and they think that.
Yeah.
Everybody's going there, and it's fine. Not necessarily, yeah. It's weird people that, they're afraid of any form of uncomfortability. I think that's the issue. Sometimes it's lighthearted good racism, but it's just like something that's like very, very soft. It's not. Nobody had a problem with Aunt Jemima. Who the fuck had a problem with Aunt Jemima? 3 retards on Twitter?
Yep.
It's probably one retard with 3 accounts.
What's really sad is that it's usually those people, it's those few groups of people's like collective shout, which by the way, their account got banned on Twitter. Thank God. Get them out of here, I say. That go around and change things for people that don't want it to change. No one asked for this other than a few people sitting around a table that don't know how to do anything else than sit there and bitch and complain about something. It's so annoying that we have to deal with these people in the world. It really is.
This was the last standing cracker. I guess the Quaker Oats guy.
Oh, you got him.
Is like the last standing cracker. Now the cracker on Cracker Barrel is gone because of this woke CEO, Julie Fles Massino.
Ooh,
says people love their rebrand. She says it's great. Everybody else.
I would still love to know where they get these statistics from. Where do you get this idea that people are saying it's great? The internet is pretty much on fire with backlash. And somehow, wherever you did this one Cracker Barrel, everyone there loved it? Are you weird?
I know, it's depressing.
I feel like the CEO of Cracker Barrel should be an old fat guy with overalls and a plaid shirt.
And a farmer's hat.
Like, that, it should be an old fat guy. This is all kinds of wrong.
Leave it to another middle-aged millennial, honestly.
It's been overwhelmingly positive that people like what we're doing. I'll give you another soundbite. I actually happened to be in Orlando last week with all of our managers. We bring them together and
if everyone likes it, then why are your stocks plummeting?
Every other year.
Oh yeah.
And the number one question that I got asked, Michael, was how can I get a remodel? When can I get a remodel? How do I get on the list?
Oh, really?
So because the feedback and the buzz is so good, not only from our customers, but from our team members. They want to work in a wonderful restaurant. So
wow,
we're doing everything for our guests.
Everybody likes
members.
it.
Well, Julie Massino, it's wonderful to have you here.
Pleasure to be here.
Thank you for answering those questions for all the Cracker Barrel
I
fans.
love how he doesn't even agree with it. He doesn't even agree with it. He's just like, thank you for answering the questions.
Out there,
yeah,
there's a lot of great changes.
Thank you so much.
This guy is that guy right there. He usually goes against the advocation for this kind of stuff, but he's trying to play nice.
Yeah. Robin?
Can I get in writing that the peg game is going to stay?
The peg game is staying. Okay. So are the rocking chairs.
It doesn't matter. The peg game's not even the same anymore. They changed the rules to it. There's 2 pins that are in the triangle board now that are white. Out of all the colored pegs, they're white, and they don't move, and they make the game harder.
Place, vintage decor.
If that's not racism, I don't know what is.
It's all there.
All right.
Well, not really, though,
No,
right?
it's not sheet. Straight up lied.
Yeah.
Yes.
Another
That's another thing. These companies, like Veilguard, Assassin's Creed Shadows, Cracker Barrel CEO, and these other CEOs like Bush. Not Bush. Anaheim and Budweiser. They all try to lie and Jaguar. They all try to lie and cover this up. But then you see their stocks plummet. You see the hate and backlash come out of the woodwork online. And they still are willing to die on that hill as the company is pretty much going out of business. Why? It seems like Anheuser's the only one that were like, nope, we're not going out of business. We're sorry. We apologize. Please stop.
Yo, boomer lady, ruining something glorious. This is a
He's completely right.
Yeah, it's ruined.
Absolutely.
Old Cracker Barrel. Look at this.
Yep.
What the hell is this? This is the remodeled Cracker Barrel?
This looks like the kind of restaurant that happens after your neighborhood gets gentrified and they move all of the minorities out by raising the property value like 3x.
Yes.
And then
it looks too new. It looks too modern. Like the prices at Cracker Barrel are expensive, and you don't get that good of food. It's all about the atmosphere at Cracker Barrel. Whoever did this to the interior has no idea and probably never even set foot in a Cracker Barrel as a child to experience it.
The store, it has a neon sign that says eat or food or love on it. And you buy a hamburger and it's $38.
Yep. It's expensive
That's what
to
this
eat
is
there.
right now.
It is not
and
cheap.
Everybody knows it.
Even the like knickknacks and stuff that are in here, all that shit's overpriced. Bro, they like overprice it by like 3x. It's crazy how expensive it is.
Oh yeah.
Now it just looks like utilitarian, modern,
yes,
country chic store. 3218997. This is a complete travesty. Part of the Cracker Barrel experience is feeling like you're stepping back into an older, simpler America.
Yeah,
Turning that
absolutely.
into this modern slop is bad. Yeah,
100%.
nobody likes it. She says our customers just like it.
Who are
No,
they?
man.
Where
this
are
logo
they?
is depressing. Let's check it on the Cracker Barrel CEO. Oh, of course.
Right, of course. I'm so glad people are realizing this now. As I said, the biggest threat to America.
Absolutely, of course, right.
Yes.
Yep. Yep.
That's right.
Yep, that's exactly right.
It's the
Insufferable,
glasses.
left-wing, elitist lady.
Yep.
Who's turned the old Cracker Barrel, dripping with nostalgia, into whatever the hell this is. Like the urban chic.
Is that the other ones they were trying to go with?
Why can't companies like get people that actually use their products? You know what I mean?
Imagine that.
I bet that they got really bad backlash for using anything other than the original colors and sticking to something similar to the original logo whenever they tried it in like testing, because they knew this was going to cause
like the people who were running Bud Light didn't drink Bud Light. The people who
isn't that a problem?
That seems to be the theme. Is you've got all these people that it's been like that with the gaming industry in the past 4 years. You get all these people in places of power that don't even play the damn games that they're trying to push their narratives in. They don't go to the stores and buy the products. They don't have anything to do with what they're doing and what they're like. This lady, I guarantee you, never grew up around a Cracker Barrel, never grew up in a Cracker Barrel. They probably never even set foot in one. And she's over here changing everything because she's in a position that was pretty much handed to her by who knows who, and they're just systematically destroying everything.
Isn't that an issue?
Grow up at or use Cracker Barrel. They don't like Cracker Barrel. This lady did not grow up eating at Cracker Barrel.
Thank you
too
for
much to
saying
ask?
that.
I look like I'm broadcasting.
That's a good question. That's a really good comment. Yeah. Did she even grow up going to Cracker Barrel?
No,
Probably
there's no way.
not.
There's no way.
From a Cracker Barrel right now. Is it too much to ask?
Yeah, I don't know.
For that, the destruction of the great American brand continues. The current leadership of Cracker Barrel is totally clueless. They took away the cracker in the barrel. What is the point now? That's right. I hate this so much.
Someone remembers this is again
No
the
one
barrel
likes
picking?
it.
Yeah.
Everyone is telling me that they hate it. They ruined old Cracker Barrel.
That's right.
See, like, look at that. Look at all the history here. Look at all, like, you could go into different Cracker Barrels and you can get like in a completely different lineup of history. No one Cracker Barrel had the same paintings and historical things on the walls. Each one had that town's history. And you go in here and you fuck it all up. Please don't demonetize this video, but if you do, then whatever. I don't care. I'm going to say it for what it is. And it's not going to be the same experience, especially not whenever you're paying like $30 for one burger. Your food is mid. You go there for the atmosphere and the experience. It's like a walk in time or back through time. And just imagine if they took all this off the walls and they made it white and they lined it all up and made it look not as, I wouldn't say cluttered, but not as historical.
This is the old Cracker
it's
Barrel.
Not the same.
And this is the new Cracker Barrel. Gross.
It's accurate because there's no one there. That's why the stock's down.
Terrible. The remodel. Ugh.
How much did the stock go down, actually? Let me go back and double check. So it went down by 12% after this remodel.
That's rough. Holy Jesus.
That's pretty fucking bad, guys.
So obviously the current leadership of Cracker Barrel has no respect for their customers, no clue what made their business great in the first place. Modernizing Cracker Barrel has been a disaster. Return to tradition. CEO of Cracker Barrel decides to scrap nostalgic, beloved logo that reminds people of simpler times for an improved...
Like, you have to keep in mind, how do you find out about these restaurants? Your parents or your grandparents or a family member recommends them. No? Maybe even a friend. If you grew up, let's say, I guess in a Cracker Barrel, and you had a good experience at a Cracker Barrel, even though their food was overpriced, you went and browsed the shop, you waited for your food to come out, you played the little triangle game, and you said, you know what? I like this. This atmosphere is really fun. And then you go and change it, and you change how it looks, and you change the way things are, and you change the flow of it. You essentially go against the grain. People aren't going to recommend this restaurant anymore because you're alienating what is your core personality and audience. People go there for the experience, not for the food. And I know I've said this several times, and probably the last time that I say it. I'm just trying to nail it into the coffin before, you know, we bury it. And it's like that with a lot of these games that are taking over these series, like, for example, the Veilguard, or like there was a lot of games the past 4 years. Call of Duty. It just keeps going. The list just keeps going. Now, finally, it's being pushed away where it belongs and put into a box and tossed into the ocean with all the other woke DEI slopper, which is great. But people like this, just another industry that's being killed. Look at the guy that took over Red Lobster. Their stock shot up because they brought back some of the older stuff that it used to have that made it more affordable. They don't have this problem. You go and you fuck with the franchise's base, you're going to have a problem. Why don't these people learn this? It blows my mind.
Logo, yeah. These people like this are always trying to improve things, right? That they saw as, I mean, there's no doubt, they saw it as racist. They saw this as racist.
Yes, it is.
First they took the Indian off the land, now they took the cracker off the barrel. Yep.
Yeah.
Cracker Barrel isn't about biscuits and gravy
I mean,
anymore.
and if you find it racist, well, that's too bad. Because, like, it ain't hurting you. That's kind of what freedom of speech is for. Like, that's the whole reason why you can walk up to a cop and flip them off. It's freedom of speech. It's not there to protect people that are happy about what you're saying. It's there to protect people who... It's there to prevent people who aren't happy about what you're saying, that makes them angry. That's why it's there. So that way they can't go out and hurt you. That's what freedom of speech really protects. That's why whenever you make a joke on stage, you don't have to worry about somebody pulling out a gun and shooting you.
Woke agenda.
I mean, you do, but
it's very, very fucking weird.
Time. Goodness, celebrating you. Happy Pride Month from Cracker. So it was Cracker Barrel the only place that did Pride Month?
You know what's crazy is not a single store did Pride Month for the most part. They didn't even talk about it this year. I don't even think they did Pride parades this year. Like, Pride Month is down by a lot. People are... Look, you could have your Pride Month. I don't really think it should be a month. It should be like a couple days. But when you sit here and you go around shoving it down people's throat by changing historical places like Cracker Barrel and different brands, that's the reason why these people are getting mad and they're becoming like extremists, because they're sick of it. And we're finding out really quick on the internet, there's way more of us than there are of them.
So that's it.
I would expect they were the only place that wouldn't.
Cracker Barrel?
Yeah, I would expect that's the only one that wouldn't do it. Yeah, this is crazy. You know what? I'll finish it. It's 2 more minutes.
Barrel did Pride Month?
Yeah. Everyone feels at home.
Cultural belonging, inclusion. So the Cracker Barrel has DEI?
It's not even cultural belonging. It's just American nostalgia. There's nothing that has anything to do with fucking like India and Cracker Barrel at all. Like, and if I went to an Indian restaurant, I wouldn't expect to see, you know, fucking...
Yeah, he's absolutely right. Like, you wouldn't go to an Asian buffet and expect them to wave American flags and LGBTQ flags and all this other crap, or put up statues of like George Washington and ruin that culture, that experience. Or a Hispanic restaurant like La Presa, you wouldn't go to let's see what else. What's another good example? You wouldn't go to a what's another one? I had one off the top of my head. An Indian restaurant. You wouldn't go there and try to LGBTQ pussify their stuff. Why are you doing this? It seems like it's only whenever it involves white people. It's so weird. It makes no sense.
I don't know, like an old wagon from the Oregon Trail there either. What is this?
What a nightmare. Cracker Barrel has been undergoing a slow-motion version of the Bud Light self-immolation for years.
I didn't even know
to generate some questions of the responsiveness of capital markets and incentives. It's a uniform.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's right. They all have the same thing going on.
Those glasses, man.
If you wear the kind of like I do wear,
they all wear the same type of glasses, big framed, or like they're all pretty much the same color, but they all have the huge lenses. And it's so weird. I think she's the only one that's like not wearing the big lens glasses, but she's also got the purple hair, and she's the only one. So. And they all typically have short hair, which is hilarious.
Very bad vision. If you wear the giant plastic clunky glasses, you are mentally unstable. You're like...
They look so bad.
I have never found an exception to this rule.
Trying to tell
I've never found... People say it happens, but I've never heard of it.
Despite
I haven't seen it either.
Backlash. Bro, they redesigned and rebranded Cracker Barrel. It's so bright in here.
Wait, what?
It used to look rustic and old-fashioned, and now it just looks modern. It looks gross.
What's the hill you're ready to die on? Cracker Barrel's logo. They removed the cracker and the barrel.
Yeah.
Combined with the remodel of the interior, Cracker Barrel is now warm home.
That just doesn't look right. That just doesn't look right, man.
Charming, authentic as a home decorated.
Well, this one isn't too bad. I'm not a big fan of the white. I'd imagine that the store owner kind of fight to keep it kind of similar, but it just still doesn't look right.
So it's like a Bed Bath & Beyond.
Yeah.
It's like empty and plastic.
Yeah.
Why who asked for this? Nobody wanted this. Where's the Civil War feeling?
With country music star to invite guests to All the More this fall.
All the More, right. Oh, for sure.
Got it.
Well, that happened last week. I never even heard of it.
Controversial rebrand won't be stopped. Here's how menus are changing too. Now they're taking away the menus, the biscuits.
Oh my god. They need to stop focus grouping things from people that aren't their core audience. Like back in the day, there used to be people in my neighborhood skating around on skateboards, on bicycles. Cody and Jeff's grandparents.
I think that it's just really sad to see this. Hopefully they can remove the CEO before it goes nationwide. But I don't think they're gonna. I think we're gonna get stuck with this nonsense. That's really gonna suck. It really sucks. I know he reacted to more stuff yesterday. Hold on. Oh, we got more about the UK.
I hate to say that.
I'll dedicate like 10 minutes to that. Did he upload any more clips? I'm trying to get as much as I can in today, boys. I'll do more tomorrow, but I'm not gonna be live tomorrow. There it is. Oh, he didn't upload anything, huh? What's XQC talking about nowadays? Why is it so hard to find these people? Right here. I have a flight to Canada soon. Trump ASAP. Okay. Didn't look like there's anything good here. Where's that clip? Nope. No. This is it. So a lot of these women that do these OnlyFans don't realize how many teens get their hands on their content, and they think that it's just protected because it's behind a paywall. You'd be surprised.
Beyond Cooked, what is this? Group of 12-year-olds approach an OnlyFans girl and let her know that they goon to her? What? What the fuck?
If you don't know what gooning is, yeah.
These are the ones who Gucci. These are the ones who Gucci.
Yo.
Here, let's go.
All of them?
No! All of them. All of them. All three of them.
Are you Gunter?
Oh, shit.
Wait, you Gunter before?
That is fucking
gooning session.
You know what's even crazier? is I can't necessarily say that I blame her. I blame the parents. I blame the parents because what 8, 9, 10, 13, 16-year-old is walking up to a person that does stuff like OnlyFans and outright saying, I do my business to you. What happened to these kids, man? It's like they don't know what discipline is anymore. They have no self-respect. It's crazy. It blows my freaking mind how disrespectful some of these little fucks are now. Man, you do some shit, you do something like that back in the day, find every hand upside the back of your head. It's crazy to me, like, and how bold they are with it.
I'm 12, but when I stand on my money, I'm 6. I'm 5'4", but whenever I'm standing on my money, I'm 6'6".
6'7".
I gotta admit, that was funny. And this is one of the things that if any of these people that do like any of these like online content type stuff, all of it is consumed by minors. There are kids that are watching all of this stuff. And I don't know why they want to deny this.
There was a guy and a woman that went on the it was that guy that gives the financial advice. And apparently the wife has an OF account and she does everything, including feet. And she has a 16-year-old, a 9-year-old, and I think a 6-year-old. And the guy asked her, he was like, you do realize that kids are going to see this, right? And she's like, no. They were so adamant that no kids would see it. And he's like, you have kids in school, right? How have they not seen or had been asked about their parents doing this kind of stuff? And they really didn't go in depth on it, but I can almost promise you that 16-year-old has had to deal with it at some point. There's no way. No way. Unless no one knows who his parents are or her parents are. They didn't say what, but it's,
or act like
there's
it's
no
not
way.
happening or whatever reason.
I want bad stuff.
Just because it's behind a paywall doesn't mean that you still can't access it.
Flying around my name. I don't want people thinking that I advertise to kids because that is the last thing.
But yes, it is happening constantly. It is happening all the time. So yeah, it's very...
And keep in mind that you can't just scroll around on OnlyFans. You have to have an account. You have to show that you're 18 or older. So, like, at the end of the day, you could only put so many precautions on the internet before you have to look at the real problem, and it's their damn parents not doing their jobs as parents. I can't say what gooning is. If you're an adult, I would advise looking it up. If you're a child, stay away from it. I'm trying to keep all the monetization on this video.
Disturbing? I think so too, yeah.
Wait, how old are you guys for real?
Oh, 15.
Oh, like, I'm
You're not 15.
I literally don't condone
He looks like he's 8. He looks like he's 8 or 9. There's no way.
Yeah,
He looks like back here, he looks like he's 7.
literally have an account.
Yo.
It's disgusting, bro. It really is. It's sad to see that. Where is... I had a Penguins video. Where'd it go? See, this happens quite a bit. I'll have the video up, and then for whatever reason, like whenever I go to find it, it's just gone. It's so weird. It's actually really annoying. Because we have an update for that kick streamer that got, like, KO'd,
Yesterday I talked about...
Apparently the situation got worse, boys. Well, what is this? I'll put a timer on this video.
about a streamer who passed away while on stream. His name was Raphael Gravin, known online as Jean Parmenov. He was a French streamer who was once a gamer, then started doing more IRL content and teamed up with...
So he teamed up with a bunch of guys that would actively go out of their way to bully him. They kept him there, and whenever they finally realized the guy had passed away, it was after, because they were doing it like a 24-hour or 48-hour stream, and they threw a bottle at his already dead body. They slapped him in the face, hit his head, and then they realized that he was gonzo. On stream, by the way.
Who went through a lot of struggle.
And he had heart problems, and the night before, he was messaging his mother saying that they're keeping him there and that they won't let him leave, and then he passed that night.
A vulnerable person, and was to let them beat the fuck out of him and treat him like garbage.
And you could tell in a lot of the clips that I've seen that whenever they were like roughhousing with him, the way he was acting wasn't like somebody that was having fun or being roughhousing with friends. It was the face of somebody who was actively being bullied. And even the guys that were doing it to him, you could see the actual anger in their face. So this man was not only taken advantage of, but he was also bullied to the point where he passed away.
Humanize him, abuse him physically and mentally, and put him through torture on stream for their
content. They literally tortured
because
this man.
It was very popular content. It was all broadcast on Kick, and I speculated...
It's like that one idiot that kept hurting the dog Peaches. When you create a positive feedback loop to this negativity, you're just going to keep doing it.
That Kick probably knew about it. Turns out they 100% knew about it, and Kick France would even make tweets about Jean Parmenov and the torture he was enduring. They were fully aware of what was happening. They even used him to push their merch. So Kick France, it's not like they can just try and make the claim, this flew under our radar. If only we had known, we would have swooped in like fucking Batman and saved Gotham City from this degenerate...
Let's be honest here. Most of these platforms, they don't react to something... They don't ban somebody or react to something unless there's an absolute plethora of people sending emails and complaining about it. Like that person that was cheating in Battlefield 6, that cat girl thing? I don't even know. That person got banned on Twitter, or Twitch, not Twitter, Twitch, because of people mass reporting it. You can't act like these big companies care. They don't. They don't care, and they're willing to take it as far as it goes before they put a stop to anything.
They knew. They even were an active participant in encouraging it, clearly.
Yeah.
So they can't just play like the blissful ignorance card on it. Now, from what I read, that Kick Twitter account that was posting about it was run by a French agency, so maybe like Kick's staff didn't particularly know, but I find that kind of hard to believe that you would just let this agency have free reign that never ever reports back to Kick itself. So I'm very confident they were aware of what was happening, but since these streams were so popular, they were big. Like, I knew they were very successful, but I didn't know how big they were. These were huge streams. And since they were so huge, I think they were hesitant to shut it down, and given Kick's history of just letting illegal activity go unpunished for a really long time, I think it's pretty safe to say that they saw the amount of eyeballs this was bringing, and they just let it ride. Yeah. They didn't care that Jean Parmenov was literally being fucking abused on their platform because it was getting some big-time peepers on the platform. And I think that needs to change ASAP for Kick. This is a platform that's growing a lot, and
a lot of people have switched over to Kick and realized how much money they can make at Kick because of Asmongold, actually. Asmongold recently started streaming to Kick and brought over a lot of Twitch streamers, and that's the reason why a lot of new Twitch rules have come out that are banning people because they don't want people going from Twitch to Kick, because you could watch Kick without any ads for the most part, and that's why.
I've said this a lot. I think it's a good thing if Kick continues to be successful. Competition in the streaming space is crucial.
Yes, it is.
But the way that they handle... There is a streamer...
And they're able to get away with more because they don't rely on ads. They rely on gambling.
Still actively streaming about that any longer. The big update to today's story is a French investigation has concluded that Jean Parmenov's death was not the result of any foul play. According to a public prosecutor, there was a post-mortem
Damn.
conducted, and he was found to have not been killed by trauma or a third party. The probable causes of death appear to be medical and/or toxicological. This is from Damian Martinelli, saying that further tests had been ordered, but ultimately they're concluding that this was not the result of all of the abuse and mistreatment that he endured for so long from these streamers that were beating
stress can kill you too.
him and strangling him and torturing him. 2 forensic doctors found no internal or external traumatic injuries or burns, only a few bruises and healed lesions. Medical experts considered that Mr. Gravin's death was not traumatic in origin and was not related to the intervention of a third party. Gravin may have suffered from heart problems and was undergoing medical treatment for his thyroid gland, the prosecutor added. There's a lot to unpack with this. Now, while his actual cause of death might not be directly related to all of the beatings and shit that he took from these fucking
but the psychological stress that he could have been under could have caused this. You can actually develop a lot of health problems if you stay under a tremendous amount of mental pressure constantly. Just like if you overstress your body from physical labor, you can do the same thing mentally.
I think it's inarguable that all of the stress and all of the torture that he endured probably was pretty bad for his already present medical conditions.
Yeah.
I would make an argument, now of course I'm not a medical expert, that subjecting a human being with...
I was a medical expert. I was an EMT, and I'm telling you right now that you can have just as many physical problems that are caused mentally than you can with physical problems that are caused by physical work and labor.
Medical problems, as well as a couple of other things going on in the medical history, to the amount of beatings, strangulation, stress, consumption of dangerous chemicals, the sleep deprivation, and doing your absolute best
Sleep deprivation is a big one. Being deprived of sleep is a massive thing. People at the fire departments have been known to have heart attacks when they get woken up in the middle of the night by the sirens going off for a call. It's actually a very, very big problem.
Or perpetual misery of that individual probably exacerbates a lot of problems that could lead to their death. I would say that is something that most sensible people would agree with. I think if someone has underlying medical conditions, fundamentally torturing them is probably just going to make it worse.
Yeah.
Even if the torture doesn't directly kill them, I would be shocked if anyone thinks that this means that those streamers' hands are clean. Like, oh, case closed. He didn't die from any of the trauma he experienced. Yeah, he had some bruises and all that, and yes, he was abused for so long, mistreated, and fundamentally tortured by these individuals, but...
I think the best thing that could happen here, since the lawkeepers don't want to step in, if there's anything the mother can do to press, like, charges in some way, shape, or form, or even sue them, I think that she should do that.
His actual death, well, it looks like that was just of natural causes and had nothing to do with...
Because if she wins a lawsuit that shows that the physical trauma, the mental trauma that he was going through was enough to cause him to, croak in the middle of the night, then that would be enough to actually push legal charges.
With any of this innumerable amount of torture that we've bore witness to. Surely that was all just circumstantial, had nothing to do with any of that. Definitely played a role in making his overall health worse. And we have the text messages from Raphael Gravin to his mother that indicate how much stress he was under and how he felt like he was being held hostage by them, that he couldn't leave, and that he desperately wanted out. It was so bad with their abuse of this man that they actually had him on stream.
Yeah, that's
confirmed.
That's what I think. I think she should sue the absolute piss out of them.
That if he dies, it's not their fault. I had to translate this, but in a clip that's out there, they are saying, well, what happens if Jean Parmenov dies? They said, well, we're going to have to get him to say that it's not our fault if he dies. It's a result of his lifelong bad health.
That's crazy, because if you pulled in all the videos that are clips that have been on Kick, like all the streams, you could probably build a pretty good case with a lawyer that it was stress related.
Decisions, his terrible way of living that led to his death if he dies. And he initially said no. He didn't want to say that.
Well, it wasn't, towards the end, it wasn't even his decision. He was being held there. They have the text message that he had texted before he died that night.
They made him say that. They forced him to say that if he dies, it is not because of all of the abuse that they subject him to. Does that sound like the actions of an innocent party here? They knew, dead morons here, huffing stupid juice, is that leave, that he was being held hostage there. They weren't letting him leave, was the impression he was giving to a text message sent to his...
I mean, they also could have bribed the investigators as well. I mean, if they were as big as Charlie said they are, there's a good chance that they bribed the investigators. It's very possible.
Also, from what I was reading, they would actually force him to do this, sometimes monetarily. Like, they would financially pressure him to participate in their abuse and mistreatment. And from the very get-go, it feels like they manipulated a mentally vulnerable man who was looking for friends into being their guinea pig to just beat on stream for content to make money off of it. They treated this guy like a human piñata, where they would hit him until money fell out from, like, the deranged viewers that were watching and donating.
What's crazy is that they wouldn't have been doing this if it didn't have the feedback loop. I think that the viewers are just as responsible as the people that were hitting on this man. I do. I think that it's sad that this man couldn't even rely on the systems in place to protect him. He needed protection, and what are laws if not there for the protection of the weak? Whether that be weak physically or weak mentally. What is even the point of having them? It makes no sense. It's sad to see this.
All of that. It doesn't seem like you can legally even do that. Like, you can't legally consent to fucking amid the backlash to all of this. He has the gall to file a cyberbullying complaint about his feelings being hurt with people insulting him for all of the abuse.
So this idiot actually filed a cyberbullying?
He subjected Jean Parmenov to. So he filed the complaint to the Paris prosecutor's office.
So now he's getting his ass cleaned, and he's trying to roach out on it, huh?
Cyber hate division targeting those who have harassed Naruto since JP's death. As he goes through a period of mourning, Naruto is the subject of a cyberbullying campaign. These behaviors, in addition
I'm surprised it's just him.
Being immoral, constitute criminal offenses. A complaint will be filed in the coming days with the Paris prosecutor's office cyber hate division so that the perpetrators can be identified and prosecuted. You fucking vile worms. Imagine torturing a man for so long, so much mistreatment and abuse broadcast on stream so you could make money off of this man's misery. And now when that man passes away, you are now trying to play the victim yourself, like, oh, you guys are hurting our feelings.
How can you guys because that's all they have. All they have is the ability to play the victim. That's all they got. They don't have anything else. I'd imagine most of their viewership's about to plummet. Rightfully so.
I mean, to us, we've done nothing wrong. That was our best friend. Did you not read our heartfelt post where we called him, where Naruto called him his sidekick?
As they beat the shit out of him and stressed him to the point where he dies.
Naruto, and they were putting Jean Parmenov through on stream. But they were released the same day. And then it ultimately leads to what happened here, where they continue to do it because it looks like they're completely in the right.
No. I think it's crap, dude. It really is crap. And I really hate to see that. I really hate to see that the investigators let that go. That's really sad. They should have used the mental abuse in that scenario for sure. I just don't get it. I don't get how they're able to get away with that. That's crazy to me. We're going to save this for a different time. Video. So this is a follow-up for the immigrant trucker that killed 3 people. Apparently, this is very common in Florida, unfortunately. And I really hate to see that they get passed and are able to go all over the country from California. They get their CDLs, they're illegal immigrants. And they cause Americans to die in other states.
And these Class 1 licenses in Canada and the U.S. Huh.
And in Canada, too.
Are you supposed to do...
That's an interstate. This kind of turn right here is what caused that family to die.
When I see this, you're not supposed to... Are you supposed to do this?
No.
You can do... I don't think you're supposed to do this.
Not at all.
What is this? Yeah, bro, this guy's playing Grand Theft Auto. Like, what's going on with this? Somebody is saying it in chat, highly illegal. I'm not a lawyer, but I'm inclined to agree. This seems like a big problem, guys. I'll tell you that.
Usually they have spots right here for police officers and paramedics and fire trucks to make their left turn so that way they can go in the opposite direction without having to jack their vehicle up. This guy just went for it.
And when server transfers open in Ark, completely changed the game. Well, I don't know about that. I mean, I played the game a little bit, but I just could not get into it, man. I just could not, for any reason, enjoy that game at all. But anyway, so... yeah, basically, they did arrest the guy. They are going to arrest him, and I think this is a good thing. Obviously, they took the license away from the company, I think, that hired him, like their business license, which, I mean, again, that's a good thing, but it doesn't really
So the company that hired him, they took the business license away. That is a phenomenal thing to hear. But at the end of the day, they need to go back to California, and they need to find out who gave him his license in general. Because now that they took the business license away that hired him for the trucking job, they need to figure out who gave this guy a CDL license.
A whole lot. Let's see here. Oh, here it is. Yeah, here's the video right here. The illegal truck driver who killed 3 people in Florida has just been taken into custody in California and was loaded into a plane sent by Florida.
Jesus, Florida is not messing around with this guy. Florida wants this guy prosecuted. And I don't blame them one bit. So how was he even able to get back to California? Who allowed this?
Basically, bro, they rounded this motherfucker up, man. They got him, and I don't know what's going to happen to him now, but I bet it's not good. Let's go ahead. Let's watch it. Here we go. So it just happened, I guess, a half hour ago.
Singh actually being led by Florida state authorities onto the plane there. Singh actually being led by Florida state authorities onto the plane there. It looks like he's in shackles as he's being taken back onto the plane. What exactly, Senator, would your legislation do?
Gotcha, bitch.
To this and other potential similar
Again,
cases?
how is it that he was released and allowed to go from Florida all the way back up to California without any... Like, it makes no sense, man.
In the future.
Oh.
You know what's insane? Is that any normal truck driver, if this happened and they were an American truck driver, they would automatically be brought up for charges of manslaughter. The fact that this person, I guess because they were an illegal immigrant, was allowed to travel from Florida all the way back to California is disgusting.
Well, look, there's already a basic requirement of English proficiency that some of these blue states, these sanctuaries...
Yes, as of this year, to be a truck driver, you have to learn English. That is the new federal law. And as of this year, the new national language is, of course, English. Because anytime you enroll in school, anytime you enroll in public school or private school, you are required, if you don't know English, to learn English. You are forced into English learning classes. That is the national language is English. It's sad that it took this long to learn it, to push it into law, but we have it, so now we can start fixing these things.
Yeah.
And issuing commercial driver's
No, they need to do something like this federally immediately. Like, they need to pass, like, an executive order or some shit that says, like, if you are a, like, fucking... I
agree. They need to round up, they need to put in that plane also the people that allowed him to get his CDL. They need to figure out who stamped his thing to approve him. What test did he pass to get a CDL?
State truck driver, you have to pass an English literacy test right now.
Yes.
Like, I mean, that's it. You know, like, that's really the problem. Because, like, if they want to have a bunch of retards that can't read in California...
It's fine if they want to do that and they have to drive around California. They can go and do themselves in all they want. But whenever you've got somebody crossing state lines, you're at a federal law level. You need to be able to do your job and not get other people killed. Because that's what this is. You wouldn't want a pilot that couldn't understand English piloting a goddamn plane. That would be crazy.
Like, I mean, that sounds like a personal problem.
When you own a CDL, you're not just responsible for you and your passengers. You're responsible for everybody else on the roadway, even if they're idiots.
But, and also, that's not good either. But, I think that if you're talking about, like multi-state lines, I mean, yeah, obviously they need to have a degree of quality control for this. How is it even a question? So, yeah, it's insane. You should learn how to English to get any job, learn how to do English to get any job. I don't know how a person gets into America without speaking English. I mean, it's the national language, and by the way, I know that up until recently it wasn't. It always has been. Everybody knows it. Every presidential address is in English.
Yeah.
English is the national language, and it always has
And you
been.
know what's crazy? Whenever they sign, it's always in English.
So the fact is that anybody who's
they
not
sign anything that has to do with bills to push into laws, it's always in English. Anytime you get court documents, it's in English unless you want it in any other language. It's English. That's what they teach you in school. Everything that you learn is from a person that speaks English.
English shouldn't fucking be here. Like, I don't know how this is even a question. How is this even a conversation? What the hell are we doing?
License to truckers.
Yes. Oh my God.
I think two things. Number one, these states like Washington and California that want to keep issuing commercial driver's license need to show that they are complying with that basic requirement. That the people.
See, this falls back to they need to charge California with treason at this point. They need to send in the military and get that state under control, and they need to put the people that are in the government for California in jail where they belong. They don't need to be running the state because they're running it right into the ground, and they're bringing the other states around it. And Florida apparently as well. Apparently Florida has many of these people that come through into their state and kill people because they're illegal immigrants that are driving these damn trucks.
They're putting on these roads that are going into other states can actually read the signs.
Yeah, imagine expecting somebody who drives a truck that could kill people to be able to read traffic signs. I mean, I don't know, guys. That seems a little bit it sounds a little.
You know what's crazy is that anytime you have a big load, a big payload, like what these 18-wheelers drive, anytime you're going down a hill, you'll see signs that have a truck, and it looks like it's kind of tipping over, right? It looks like it's kind of tipping over, and or they'll have like a truck and then like a chute down. Anytime you see that sign. If the person that's driving these trucks doesn't understand what that is, they could tip that truck over. Or if it's at a heavy incline, there's these dirt trails that take you off, and they're signing there that shows that it's for the trucks if they lose control of their trucks. So they get on that dirt, and the dirt slows the truck down because they've worn out their brakes. I can't expect these people to know the procedures for handling air brakes. There is a procedure that you have to pass every time you get behind the wheel of these trucks because they don't use standard brake pads. They use air brakes. And there's a procedure. You have to pump them down. You have to make sure alarms come on whenever the air brakes are low. You have to make sure that it doesn't roll forward. There's a procedure, and most of that procedure, if not all of it, is in English. So I know these people didn't pass these tests. There's no way.
But racist to me, geez, guys. Like, yeah, it sounds kind of bad. Wow. How many families need to die for this? This is so horrible. Well, I don't understand. And I think that, again, like, it's just in general, like, anti-American, Western racism, or like a sense of, like, guilt where it's like, oh, well, we can't force people to learn English. Like, absolutely you can. 100% you can.
If you go into somebody else's country, like if I went to Russia, I would learn Russian. If I lived there, I would learn Russian. I don't know what they call it. If I went to China, I would learn Chinese. If I went to a different country, I would learn their language. If I moved there, I would learn their language. You know why? Because nobody in that country is going to have the same respect that some of these idiots do here in America. They're going to tell you can either learn our language or get out. And I don't blame them. If you're moving to a different country, learn their language or get out. Straight up. There's no excuse for this. It's annoying. If there's an emergency, nobody can communicate with you. If you called 911, no one can understand what you're saying unless they are like proficient in foreign languages. And most people, whenever they go to high school and stuff, they learn a little bit of Spanish and they forget about it because nobody speaks it. But you change that whenever you make the national language English and you tell everyone they got to learn English. I'm going to use the bathroom. I'm going to split this video here. but we're gonna keep watching it. Okay, let's keep riding forward.
It's not even a question. I mean, this is this isn't like a you know, a restaurant. This is a life and death situation, very clearly, right? And so that's where we're at.
Understand English and be able to communicate.
So yeah.
With motor carrier.
So I disagree. My mom's Puerto Rican. She does not speak English. Puerto Ricans are legal and they're not obligated to speak English. I'm on your side with a lot of things, but not that part, man. Wow. Okay. So like so that's like a very different thing than if somebody is coming into an insta decline. If you're not proficient in English, I don't even see how anybody can argue against this. It seems like the decline. If you're not proficient in English, I don't even an automatic decline. Somebody is coming into the United States and they can't speak English. I think that should be an automatic decline.
I think he's right. Like, I do. I think that being able to speak English is a wonderful talent, and it's incredibly useful in a lot of countries in the world. And the thing is like, why would you want to bring someone over on a work visa if you could hire an American that already knows English? It makes no sense. You can. Well, you need somebody that's going to be able to do the job, and they have to be smart. Okay, well, there's a lot of high school students that are too poor to afford to go to college, and a lot of them get jacked out of scholarships. So instead of spending all the time and money to bring somebody over on a work visa, you could send them to college, and then once they're done with college, or send them to the courses that you want them to take and pay for it, and then when they're done, they get on like a work program and get automatically put into work. You know, you could treat college like a trade instead of sitting here trying to charge $100,000 a year to go to college. You can spend all that money to get somebody from a foreign country that doesn't know English moved into the country, but you can't seem to do it for somebody who's already here. You don't see a problem with this?
An insta decline if you're not proficient in English. I don't even see how anybody can argue against this. It seems like the most obvious common sense opinion, but for some reason it eludes everybody.
Safety inspectors.
That's a gotcha. Yeah, of course.
And it doesn't have to be some dumb idiot kid. It could just be somebody who's very skilled in what you're looking for, who knows how, you know, like if you're looking for somebody for engineering, and you have somebody that looks to be very talented in math and geometry and things that require engineering, I don't know what that is, then you send them to engineering college. You give them a full scholarship like a football, like they do with football players. You can do these things. I've seen it before we had all these illegal immigrants come in here and take all these U.S. jobs. Why aren't you doing this? You're too busy trying to siphon as much money out of American people and pull these people from a different country than you are trying to actually help American people.
For driving, and they need to be permanent and lawful residents of the United States.
And also, by the way,
I
if
agree.
your mom drives a fucking semi-truck, she better learn. Like, I got no problem. She wants to sit at home and do whatever the fuck. Yeah, fine. Don't speak English. It's okay. You're a U.S. territory. It is what it is. But, like, if you're going to go around driving a fucking truck, you better learn how to read the goddamn signs. I mean, what are we even doing here, guys? Come on. What is this? Talking about CDL? Yeah.
Basic minimum, and that way you don't have.
It kind of makes me wonder how many of these trucking companies are using illegal immigrants to transport these goods. Like, how many of these are not even like they need to take these companies that are doing this, that are hiring these illegal immigrants, and they need to find them for human trafficking and put their peoples in jail for human trafficking. This is ridiculous.
That are following the law. As you know, Florida is a law and order state. We comply with the laws because we know that ensures the safety of our citizens.
Yeah, it's obvious.
We shouldn't fall victim to or be penalized by other states that don't do the same.
Well, yeah, exactly. I mean, like, again, it's just what an unforced error. What a massive. And in my opinion, I think that from everything that I know about the government, I don't think this had anything to do with liberal policy. I mean, maybe at the top it did. I think this just had to do with another person that works at the government who doesn't give a fuck about their job. They don't care about how things go, and they're just doing whatever the hell they want, right? I think that's really what's going on here more than anything. So, yeah, and is driving that hard? Yes, apparently it is. And it was absolutely liberal policy? Maybe, right? I don't know. Honest with you, is on a its days are numbers, basically, right? I think that very clearly you are going to see truck drivers losing their jobs. Whether this is sooner or later, it's hard really to say, but I do think
the truck drivers are going to start losing their jobs because of automation. They're going to start losing their jobs because they're going to have truck drivers that are like self-driving vehicles. I mean, sure, for a time they'll probably have a truck driver that like sits like a co-passenger, but for the most part, whenever these newer trucks start hitting the roadways and they are self-driving, it's going to take a lot of the error that comes out of vehicles, like people that make mistakes because of harsh working conditions, long hours. They're not going to be tired. They're going to be able to run 24 hours a day with low fatality rates. You realize that trucking as a whole is coming to an end, especially with self-driving vehicles. They're already, we already dealt with this even before self-driving vehicles, like truckers were going out of business. And it's just progressively gotten worse. And it has a lot to do with the tarnished reputation that truckers have whenever they have this I own the road mentality and then they get somebody killed. Not all of them are like that. There's a handful. But whenever you fuck around and you accidentally kill somebody and their death is on your hands and you're going to jail for manslaughter, you know, it kind of makes a lot of people more weary of these truckers. They're scared. It is raining really hard out. If the power goes out, we'll be back on whenever the power comes back on, unless it's 11.
It's going to happen. The reason why is because it's safer and better for everyone if you could have an autonomous driving car. Because another thing that people might not consider is that even if these truck drivers are, you know, like totally, you know, like, you know, they can speak English, they're born in America, there's like no native or no, you know, like a non-native element to this. Like a lot of truck drivers drive for a really long time, and there's a level of human fatigue that happens with. Let's see here. I mean, like, well, let me actually account for like per capita and how many mistakes happen. But in a general sense, no, I feel like this is a very, very obvious thing. Allergic to soap, yes, clearly. But fully autonomous vehicles are also deployed in places like Arizona where driving conditions are consistent and easy to navigate. Yes, but I would argue that, I don't know really if this how recent this one is, but hard to know where this is.
For sure.
What the fuck?
I was coming.
He's not even speaking English.
How recent this one is, but it did happen again somehow. Here we go.
Which is great. You okay?
This is crazy. Yeah. Apparently this is like a big thing. This happens quite a bit.
I was coming this way, and I see the whole thing. It's crazy.
Jesus, man.
Man. Hard to know where this is.
And I tell you why they keep hiring these illegal immigrants is because they know that they don't have to give them as many benefits. their rights aren't the same. They could be forced to work longer. And it's crazy that when this happens, it's a catastrophe. Usually.
I don't know if this is in the U.S. or not, but yeah, I think this is obviously a very big problem, and this is the governor of Florida talking about it. Here we go.
I bet he's
Ron DeSantis of Florida is talking about the illegal immigrant truck driver who had the driver's license from California that killed 3 people in Florida. Let's listen in.
I love how they have the nerve to let that guy go all the way back up to California, too. I wonder who allowed that, because that must have happened in California. There's no way.
Florida today.
Oh, they got him.
He will get the
I mean, that must have happened in Florida. There's no way.
thrown at him very shortly after that, I can guarantee you. So
any normal American truck driver that led to 3 fatalities would be charged with manslaughter, 3 charges.
Like, the guy that did it is obviously a dumb piece of shit. Yeah, okay. But, like, what about the people that hired him? What about the people that employed him? What about the people that gave him the license? What about the people
that... The people that employed him, from what I understand, their business license has been revoked. They're no longer a business. They're done. But I do think that the people that gave him this license, they need to be called into question here.
The process that made the license that he got possible. Like, you've really got to look at those people. And
it is such a pain in the neck to get a CDL. It's not even funny. It is hard to get a CDL. You've got to do a lot. I mean, hard in the sense of if you don't know how to speak English, it would be really hard. But the amount of reading that you have to do and memorization, it's a lot.
It's really where you've got to look at the fault.
Not to mention all the test driving you have to do.
Right? You've got to look at, like, that's where you've got the problem, obviously, right? Preach, yeah. I mean, that's really where we're worried about.
Stay tuned. You're going to be able to hear more for that. But how ridiculous is it that somebody would get a commercial driver's license who doesn't understand the language of this country, doesn't understand road signs, doesn't understand these things. And the feds, when they had him detained a couple days ago, they did an English test, and he failed abysmally, not even close. Like, not only like, you know, a little English, no, he was terrible. And yet he's getting these commercial licenses from these sanctuary states. And you know, in the U.S., we all kind of have our opportunities to run our states the way we want. We've chosen to be the free state of Florida.
Well, that's not even no. Because if you're driving federally, like, I mean, this is such an obvious thing. I mean, if you're doing something that crosses state lines, then states' rights are not.
It goes to the federal level once you start driving across state lines. Like, they should ask these CDL drivers if they can even speak English whenever they get their CDLs. Do they plan on passing through state lines? Doesn't matter where you started your. Like, for example, in some states, it's illegal to own a firearm in a vehicle. In Texas, it's not. They want you to own a firearm so that way you can protect yourself. But if you cross that line into a different state and you have a firearm on your truck, then you could end up into a lot of serious trouble. But that's where you have federal protections that protect you federally no matter what state you're in. When you cross that line, the state line, there are federal things that are in place for a reason. And I feel like whenever you get a license, it shouldn't be held at the state level, especially whenever it's a CDL. It should be held at the federal level. Like, you have to pass federally mandated exams in order to get your license. To know that you can drive across state borders and still be able to do your job effectively and efficiently without getting 3 people killed.
Paramount anymore. There's a reason why you have federal government and state government, and it's so fucking obvious. Things that are inside of that state and stay inside of that state are the state government, generally, not always, but generally, and things that are not are the federal government. We all know this. Everybody, it's so obvious.
I think most people here appreciate that. California, Washington State, they're choosing much different pathways. And I think it's been very destructive to the people there. That's why people have fled those states. But, you know,
people have also been priced out of places like California. And you tell you why is because whenever your house gets burned down and there's no insurance in the area that you can afford because all of them know what's about to happen and you don't have any fucking water to put out the goddamn fire, then of course you're going to have to move out of California because they're not looking at your individual rights and what they can do to help their community. They're looking at what they can do to help the immigrant population. Like whenever you see videos of the peaceful brick throwing that they had towards the police vehicles and an overpass, and you wonder to yourself, they're really trying to pass this off as peaceful protesting? Because that sure looks like rioting.
Policies and their recklessness spills over to other states in this country. And it's spilled over, in this case, to the state of Florida. So the 3 Floridians are dead, you know, in part because of the recklessness that we see out on the left coast. And, you know, I think it needs to stop. But ultimately,
I think this is one of the times where I kind of changed my mind about Florida. We shouldn't saw it off. We should put California on the edge of Florida and then saw it off and let it sink in the Gulf.
It's going to require Congress to get off its rump and actually do something about this.
Exactly, yeah. They need to solve the problem systematically because the system that created this person will create another person like this.
Yeah.
So getting mad at the person is solving the symptom and not the disease.
You're putting a Band-Aid on a bigger problem. To solve the bigger problem, you've got to get the people that are allowing this to happen out of where they're at. Like I said, what you got to do is you have to put a state of emergency on California. You got to send in the army. You got to round up all these weirdos that are doing all this weird shit in the streets. You got to put them in jail or send them over to that overseas prison. And then you got to go and you got to get all the government people that are running California and you got to try them for treason. And then that way they can go to jail and, you know, they can really clean up California.
That's what I would say.
Sanctuary states, defund sanctuary cities, rein in the excesses that we've seen in these states time and time again. And
it's all fun and games until another three or four Americans are mashed underneath another 18-wheeler. Am I right?
That happens because we cannot just sit and allow these tragedies to occur on and on and on. It's got to stop.
And I agree. This has to stop. This is ridiculous. The fact that this is even allowed is mind-blowing to me. It upsets me so much to see this. So this ought to be fun.
Moment that happened on the internet, posted on Twitter. Warning: graphic content. Husband defends his wife from 5 women attacking her. Did he do the right thing, or should he have let her get beat down? Let's see here real quick. I've never seen this before. Let's see.
We're gonna kind of skip ahead.
Yep.
I mean, I would step in. I don't know who wouldn't. Anyone who's around there, instead of pulling out your phone and recording, you should be calling the police. You should be calling the police and then trying to break this up.
Yep.
We got a sword? You know, a lot of people don't know this. Some people might. But if you are in a state like Texas, and there's a group of people that are doing stuff like this, you could pull your gun and stand your ground. Whether it be the wife or the husband, you can stand your ground and protect yourself and this other person. Could be a random stranger you've never met before, and you see them getting ganged up on in an alleyway, you can pull your gun. And the reason for that is because if that group of people, let's say 2 or 3 or 4, is threatening you and threatening you with violence and actually exert that, they could kill you. If there are up to 2 or 3 people sitting there beating you while you're on the ground, you have every right to defend yourself with lethal force.
Here we go. Hold up.
Don't know.
I don't care about age. if you lay your hands on my wife, I am going to fuck you up.
Amen to that. Yes, sir. Amen to that. I strongly believe in the first shot being the warning. If it comes to that, like usually people fuck off when you pull your gun. Here's a word to the wise. If you're forced to pull your gun out in the middle of public like that, you need to be the first person that calls. So you should have your gun in one hand and the police on the phone in the other, or have headphones. But you need to be the first person that calls, because if they call first, it makes it look bad. And secondly, is if you have to shoot something, shoot the ground, don't shoot the air. You're an idiot. But I do believe in the first shot warning if it's in public. If you cross my threshold into either my apartment or my home, I don't really care what the federal law says, but you've lost all rights to your body. My first shot will not be a warning shot. I don't care if you've got your back turned to me. I don't care if you are on the ground. I don't care. If you are in my domain and you are in there with malicious intent, I'll show you what malicious intent is.
I'm going to be so for real. This guy just hitting you, you got off easy. I would put you in a headlock. I would break your fucking arms. I would break your fucking legs. I would make sure you were mobilized.
That's
if
right.
you hurt her severely, I would shoot you. 100%.
Amen. Yes, sir. Absolutely. Absolutely. Absolutely.
I don't care. You do not get to say the proper level of retaliation when you inflict harm on another person. It's the same people who commit crimes and they say, oh, I was punished too hard. Well, then don't commit the crime.
That's the whole point of being punished. It's a deterrence, you idiot. You don't want to be punished, then don't do the crime. Since when did we ever, actually cater to this stupidity? It's so ridiculous. The whole reason for a crime, and calling it a crime and calling it against the law, is to put you in jail so you can be rehabilitated in prison and let back out into society. What happened? Where did this even get diluted? It makes no sense to me.
If you don't want the time, if you don't get to decide what your punishment is for doing something wrong. And
That's
I
right.
understand, and I will just be completely wrong. I've hit a woman before. I absolutely have.
And I haven't. But I agree that if you as a woman want to assault a man and he slaps the shit out of you or he punches you, then you had it coming. That it is what it is. Keep your hands to yourself.
I've done it once. I was in, I think, 6th grade, 7th grade, and there was this girl, and her name was, I believe, Salima Bangura. I believe that was her name. Now, she was a tall chick. She was African. Very tall African chick. She was much bigger than me. And she would come up to me and call me a punk-ass white boy or a cracker and kick me in the nuts daily, as well as sometimes spit in my face.
Mm-hmm.
She would. I was always taught to never lay my hands on a woman. I was always taught that.
As a lot more... You see, what's crazy is a lot of women had better morals back in the day. Now, there were some that were pieces of crap. But as society has changed, more and more women are turning into banshees, and more of them are actually going around and abusing the men, and the men are using their morals as kind of like a signpost to be like, well, I've never hit a woman and I won't start now, as they're actively stabbing the man to death. It's happened so many times. There's so many cases of women stabbing men, and then the police get involved, and then, it happens one too many times, and the guy ends up dead. It is okay to defend yourself no matter who it is. Your morals can be set aside for your life. I promise you, you'll be okay.
Way. That's how everybody was raised. But eventually, after weeks of this shit, well, we were in the cafeteria. She was with her 3 other black friends. She kicked me in the nuts. She called me that cracker again. She spit in my face, and I punched her in the face. I believe once. It could have been multiple times. And I also, well, I probably called her a thing that I shouldn't say on Twitch. This was, what, 26 years ago? Unfortunately, here's the reality. If you are a woman and you hit me, I'm going to also beat the fuck out of you.
Amen.
Absolutely.
Yes, sir.
You don't get to decide who's allowed to do things and who's allowed to not do things based off of race and or gender.
That's right. I believe in equal rights. If a woman hits you, well, you just got to implement your equal rights. Beat the shit out of her. Just like whenever a man hits a woman. What you do is you go get you the biggest pan you can find or the biggest knife that you can find, and you go to town. Now, you don't usually escalate it to the biggest knife that you could find unless they keep doing it, like in some of those old-fashioned thriller movies. But do what you got to do. Don't ever sit here and expect that you're supposed to just take it. Ever. No, sir.
You don't. Now, in the UFC, you can separate, the things by weight classes. You can separate things by gender. But if you're a 114-pound man and you punch me and then I punch you back and say, I'm way smaller than you, well, then don't punch me.
Amen.
If you're a
yes,
guy
sir.
who's 40 pounds below me and you're a minority and you punch me and I punch you back and say, oh, I'm Mexican, I don't care. These are not things that normal people have to operate within the confines of.
I agree.
And you don't get to go on Twitter and get to hear how an appropriate worldview is, of how everybody should be allowed to do everything, but the white man needs to hold himself back from doing anything. It makes no fucking sense. These people on the internet, these women on the internet who want to tell you how to live your life. You're a man. You need to take all this abuse and you don't get to do anything. You can shove that shit straight up your ass. I don't know what BuzzFeed article that you got educated from, but unfortunately, this isn't how the real world operates.
Yep.
And I promise you, if your life experience is majorly based off of internet people, Twitter people, Discord people, you don't know how the real world works.
Yep.
2019 through 2024. If this is where you got your idea on how the world works, you are the most out of touch person in the world.
And the reason for that is because of COVID. All people could do is go online and chit chat with the people online. So it completely messed up a lot of people's brains.
Okay? If you want to see real people, real shit, talk to a 60-year-old. Ask them what they think about current events. Ask them what they think about gender politics. If you want to see real people, go to a Walmart at 3 a.m. Go inside of a McDonald's.
You can't go into a Walmart at 3 a.m. anymore. They close at like 11.
Go inside of a Taco Bell and talk to the employees about gender politics.
I agree. If you go into like any business that is a fast food or a place of retail, and you just ask the employees what they think of the current events that's going on in the world, they'd tell you things don't look very good. I absolutely agree with what he's saying. Yeah, I feel like a lot of these people that get hired to run the country should do that. They should get a general idea of how things really are instead of talking to their fellow people that have millions of dollars that they don't understand where they got the money from on their $100,000 a year salary. You know what I'm saying? He's absolutely right. So, funny enough, well, not really funny. Oddly enough, some ferret brand, like I have only owned ferrets in my life. I owned a dog like once, but it wasn't my dog. It was my mom's dog, and I do not like dogs. I don't like cats either. I've always had an animal of some sort, but like, I think that once the two that I have, they, kick the bucket, I most likely won't get any more animals, period. I've raised animals my entire life. I'm 30 and I'm just tired of owning animals. They're expensive. Can't even afford most things right now. So like the last thing I need is to deal with another animal. But there was this brand that was going around that was ferret. It was a ferret brand, and they also put stuff inside of the food that would cause cancer. So it doesn't surprise me that they would do the same thing for dogs.
Dog owner. There was this travesty with cats, with cat litter boxes, where they were decapitating cats.
Yeah.
And I put out a video on it, about 2-3 videos on it. Charlie put out some videos. Asmongold put out some videos. But apparently there is something else that could be affecting now, not your cats,
dogs.
Your dogs.
Yeah.
Apparently there is dog food being sold right now that you may be feeding your animals that is full of toxic waste. So let's talk about this shit, and hopefully you guys go check your dog food right after this video.
These ingredients are killing your dog. Today we're going to do a deep dive into dog food, and I'm talking about ingredients not just linked to cancer, I'll cover those, but a lot of other problems as well. Initially, when you read it, it's going to sound like, oh wow, that's really good for your dog, right? What you're actually dealing with dog food is waste products from the meat industry that they put in the dumpster.
Yeah.
But not just from the meat industry, from...
I mean, let's be real. I mean, a lot of the things that dogs eat for treats are like chicken hearts or like bull dicks.
Yeah.
Right? So like, that is what we feed our dogs, is like ground up shit that no human wants to eat.
Many different industries.
It's usually the meat that has not hit the regulation of being like store friendly. Like if it doesn't look a certain way, or it's got too much fat on it, that's usually what they ground up and they put it here, and they put all the waste products like, you know, like the skin and other things, they ground it all up and then they give it to the dog. But I'm sure that it's not that simple anymore. I'm sure that they try to load it up with a bunch of crap that shouldn't be in the dog food, like what they do with humans now. A lot of food that you eat from like McDonald's and stuff, all of that is filled with stuff that 20 years ago didn't need. It didn't need, and it didn't have it in there.
Today we're just...
I have my dog on a raw diet because, you know, I'm bougie like that. To be fair, it's only $70 a month. It's called like Nom Nom Now. They get like raw food delivered. I'm not sponsored. It's been pretty good so far. Yeah, they eat like raw food every single day.
It's going to take the average dog food that most dogs consume and just kind of go through the label, starting with the first ingredient right here, ground whole grain corn, like corn on the cob, right? That's
I don't think dogs are supposed to eat corn on the cob. They're supposed to have like a meat only diet.
Type of corn we're talking about. It's not sweet corn. It's a very specific type of corn called dent corn or field corn, which is super starchy, and they feed it to cattle, but they also put it in dog food. Now, the first thing you need to know is the first ingredient is probably the majority of those ingredients.
Yeah.
So they're putting a lot of this corn in there, and so you're getting this very low quality subsidized corn, which means the taxpayers end up paying for a good majority of it. But it's not organic corn. It's going to be GMO corn, genetically modified corn, which means it's going to have traces of glyphosate, which also has been linked to cancer. That's an herbicide. And that corn could be sitting somewhere for over a year, accumulating a very deadly aflatoxin, which has been known to cause cancer in the liver and different parts of a dog's body. But to me, what really jumps out is your dog consuming a refined corn.
Yeah, I believe GMO is banned in Europe. Let me double check that real quick. Yeah,
So a lot of the products that Americans and at this point the animals that are eating that are ground up and made for us is banned in other countries. Like a lot of the products that, like if you go and eat a McDonald's burger, like bread for example, bread. If you get a piece of bread from any other country, it's different. It molds faster. But if you get like Bruden's bread for example here, it isn't even bread anymore. It's laced with sugar and laced with other chemicals that make it last longer. And those chemicals make it harder to digest for your body, and in some cases can cause cancers.
Entirely banned. Many individual European countries have banned the cultivation of genetically modified crops. And there's one thing I learned about Europe, is that they're usually they're kind of like the trendsetter of like what should
I never had
actually
heart gizzards. I don't know. I don't know if you have to cook them a certain way, but if it's too chewy, I know I won't like it.
Like they changed the Apple Lightning charger to the USB-C universally because that's what all consumers should be expecting. And I think consumers should expect the food that they're eating to not be dangerous to their dog.
Let alone dogs. So you're going to put dogs on this highly refined starch, which basically is hidden sugar. What's really interesting about that is they don't list any sugar or starch or carbs on the label.
No.
That is a loophole. When you look at any label of food,
if you look at a label on any food and it says there's 0% sugar, it means it has sugar in it. If it's not in the product, they won't list it. That's why anytime you pick up food, it doesn't have like an entire table on the back of it that lists a whole bunch of everything at 0%. That's why when you pick it up and you see that 0% sugar, it has sugar in there. It has sugar in the product. Anytime you see that, it means it has sugar in it. Or if it has sodium, it has 0% sodium, it has sodium in it. Don't be fooled by those labels. They're loopholes.
Come with this thing called the nutritional facts, okay? And that lists how much carbohydrate and sugar. Well, guess what? In dog food, they don't have to list it. They don't tell you how much sugar or carb that's in the product. But there is a way to find out, and I'm going to put how to find out in the description. I already did the calculations on the average bag of dog food, and this is on the low end. But the amount of carbohydrates in an average bag of dog food is literally 48%. Some sugar, but mainly starch. Highly refined flour, which has the power to severely spike the blood sugar of your dog. Over 50% of your dog food?
It also slows down your metabolism. Starch slows down your metabolism like crazy.
Is basically hidden sugar?
If you eat like a solid diet of nothing but starch, starch is in bread, starch is in a lot of food that you eat that's fast food. Just about anything that you buy has starch in it, unless you make it from scratch yourself. Like if you get the meat yourself and you make the rice, you get the rice and you don't get it refined and do all this extra shit. That's about the only way, because even the rice that you buy has been chemically treated with some form of starch to make it preserved.
Which is going to create metabolic issues like a fatty liver, obesity.
Like I just said, it fucks with your metabolism.
Eventually type 2 diabetes.
Starch is the biggest, and the reason for it is because you're not supposed to eat it. Humans aren't supposed to eat starch. They're not supposed to drink milk. Milk is bad for your body. Starch is terrible for your body. It's terrible for meat eaters. We're meat eaters.
And a whole bunch of other issues. We know what happens to humans. Well, it also happens to dogs. Number 2, meat and bone meal. Sounds healthy for a dog, but what is the actual quality of the meat?
I'll be honest though. I fed my dog some kibble for about the fuck out of me.
Meat, meal, or bone meal. Well, they call it the 4 Ds, okay? Because the source of where they're getting that meat could come from dead animals, dying animals, diseased animals, or disabled animals. A percentage of certain types of dog
That
food.
really doesn't matter because you can cook just about anything out for the most part, unless it's got some kind of like transmitted disease like that. It's not really going to matter.
Meats or whatever. Like it just
what matters whenever it comes to meat is if it's been processed with steroids. Steroids will fuck your body up too.
And it's really bad because there's no oversight on what type of animals arrive in this dog meal and where.
Saying. So his take on the corn is partially true. Corn is a common, often GMO ingredient in dog food, and
corn is used in a lot of stuff.
Glyphosate aflatoxin risk exists, though evidence directly linking them to widespread dog health issues is limited, but not non-existent. High carbohydrate content is accurate and may contribute to obesity in some dogs, but the hidden sugar claim oversimplifies the issue. Okay.
Carbs is usually from starch. Carbohydrates make you fat because it slows down your metabolism and then it loads it up like crazy.
Verdict, partially true on meal and bone meal. Meat and bone meal, true.
Starch is really, a potato is like, I think a potato is it's actually got a lot of starch in it. It doesn't matter the percentage, but if you want to find out, look it up yourself. But
true. I just true. Keep going.
It's okay.
So mostly
and it's
true.
not just fermented soybeans that you would get from a Japanese restaurant. You're getting a highly processed GMO, has been through hexane, which is a solvent, a chemical that's in gasoline.
Well, I'm going to be honest. Mostly anything that you buy off the shelf that isn't handmade, butter, anything, it's going to have solvents, it's going to have solutions, it's going to have chemicals in it that either preserve it to make it last longer or in some form or way make it have a certain taste or texture like sugar. If you remove sugar out of 95% of the products in America, they would be less addicting because sugar is as addicting for some people as crack cocaine or heroin. It's extremely addictive. And a lot of companies know this and they put it in the foods. Like if you ever see the study that they did with the rats, where they put the rats on a diet of like sugary treats and stuff, and they weren't able to solve the maze. And then if you put a rat that hasn't had that diet and they were able to solve it, It also messes with the pH of your brain. It messes with the chemicals of your body. It does a lot that you don't know about. It's kind of like how the filters are with cigarettes. Whenever they first said that cigarettes were good for you and they give you longer lifespan, and then come to find out later that people were dying of lung cancer, they found out real quick that that was not the case. It's the same thing with a lot of the sugars that they put in products that are increasing every year. They're putting more and more sugars in products to keep you addicted chemically to these foods. Now, a lot of that can be solved with, you got to have willpower, a lot of willpower, but laws, a lot of laws to fix these problems. Other countries have a lot of these products banned or limit how much of this stuff you can put in there. America doesn't have that, and I doubt we'll adopt it anytime soon with the current boomers that are running the country. But hopefully one day we will. I need to use the bathroom. Again. The other issue, though, is that the good stuff costs a lot of money. Oh yeah, they want to keep it that way too. It's all a system that tries to keep you where you're at. They make the stuff that doesn't have as much crap in it. Well, they claim that it's better for you, but it's not. It's still treated the same way. They just slap a label on it and say that it's more expensive, so you're still getting pretty much the same product. So what? Let me show you what the chain of command is here. So, and I've got this pretty much down to a T. So what happens is you are born, and then you get fed all these cartoon commercials that say that cereal is the best thing for you, so that way you can get addicted to cereal. And then once you're addicted to the sugar in the cereal, and you're told your entire life that milk is good for you, even though your body is genetically engineered to get itself off of milk, which is where lactose intolerance comes from. They pump it full of vitamin D and say you have to drink milk for vitamin D, even though it's just a ploy to make money off of milk products. And then whenever you get older and you don't really learn anything about nutrition as you're moving through the school systems and being told you need to go to college so that way you can take on $100,000 in debt before you even when you just turn the age of 18 and you barely know anything. And whenever you're done with that and you're already like 200 pounds overweight because of all the stuff that they put and all the chemicals that they put to genetically engineer them to keep you addicted to the food, once you're thoroughly addicted to food and you finally get a career, if you do, and you're able to start paying back your indentured servitude debt to the government and to the school, and you start developing health problems as you're moving through your career, and then Big Pharma comes in and takes all your money along with the schools and the food that is now so expensive that you can barely afford it. So you just have to make sure that they're trying to keep you where you're at, so you're a good little cogwheel in their indentured servitude slave machine, and that you can't move up or down in society. So that way, they can make sure that you show up to work and you get them all their money and not be a problem. That's what this really boils down to. They want you to be where you're at for the rest of your life, and they want you to die there. That's the only thing that matters to them, is how can they stretch this line to make themselves more profit. And then whenever Big Pharma steps in, they also take your money and they spread the wealth, because the companies all have this wrapped up like one big monopoly. You can call me fucking crazy. You can call me stupid. You can say whatever you want. But at the end of the day, I'm right. The sugar keeps you where you're at because you're addicted to it. It keeps your health fading over time because all the crap they put in it. And then whenever you get to a certain age, you have to start using big pharma and you start hemorrhaging money to them through insurance and stuff. So that way they get money. And you have to continue going to work until the day you die. They don't want you to collect Social Security. They don't want you to pass go. They don't want you to collect $200. They want you to die working. That is the society that we live in. And the sooner people come to terms with that, the sooner we can start making changes to the problems that are laid before us as Americans. The sooner we stop looking at race as a problem, and the sooner we start looking at the real problem being the diversity between being rich and being poor, is the sooner this country will get fixed. 100%. The rich people keep the poor under their fingers so that way we could keep grinding away at our lives using this American lie tactic that says that as long as you keep doing your job, you'll move up in the world and eventually you'll be able to get a house and a family, and that's not the case anymore. And more people are becoming more and more aware of it.
But there's been a big problem with people in Britain that are using British flags.
Huh?
This is the new form of alt-right extremism in Britain. Yeah.
I don't know about this song, bruh.
Bigger, right?
There we go.
Man.
Britain's going through the ringer now, from what I understand. I've had a few commenters in my chat that I've actually had to report because, especially the past week, they don't know how to keep their freaking nose clean. They sit here and they say racist remarks, and I'm just like, okay, then I'll just report you because you're an idiot. But if you're going to comment in my videos, make sure that you don't say anything racist or mean, because I'm not just going to remove your comment, I'm going to report you. Like, if you're sitting here cursing and like, throwing around racial remarks, I'm going to report you. If you actually have a counterpoint to something, then say it. But if you're going to sit here and call people names and say racial slurs and stuff, or like use foul language in my comments, I'm going to report you. If you want to say bad words, use like the different like number letter system, whatever that is, where you have like the add and then the pound sign and whatever. Don't sit here and say bad words in my comments. I will report you. No bad words and no hate remarks towards me or any of the commenters, because I will report you. I don't care whose side you're fighting for. You're free to talk about whatever you want, but the minute you start saying hateful remarks towards me or my commenters, or about a video in general, you're just going to get reported.
I think it's radicalized a lot of people, right? I mean, it's
there you go, flags everywhere, all the way down the North Strand.
Man.
So apparently this is the new statement.
That's a whole lot.
You see 20 or 30 within 100 meters.
That's a whole lot of flags.
Irish lives matter.
So yeah, they gotta do something. Well, it's pretty obvious that they're trying to do something. I mean, like, you can clearly see that. I mean, it makes sense. I mean, if I was them, I definitely would. So there's apparently like a very, very big protest that's being planned. September 13th.
Well, this isn't exactly the kind of video I thought I'd be making on a Sunday morning, and just for the purpose...
Apparently a lot of people that I had commenting, the people that I reported and removed their comments on the prior video to this, they said that apparently it's putting certain people up on a pedestal and it's all fake propaganda. I don't know how true that is.
Of any police officers or MI5...
But if you have anything that can, actually prove that this is fake, then by all means, maybe link it. Check out my Discord, leave a link there, so that way I can actually check out what's going on in the UK. But if you're just going to sit there and say dumb things in my comments, like I said, I'm just going to remove you.
Agents who are watching this video, I do not support any kind of coup action in the UK. So why then am I talking about it? Well, I'm talking about it because of a post made by Ant Middleton, a former Special Forces soldier and all-round celebrity. And here's what Ant had to say. On the 13th of September, I will ask for something of the British public, British
This is some fucking V for Vendetta shit. Oh my God.
Patriots that I would never ask of if I weren't willing to lead the charge. If certain individuals can ask for our throats to be with zero accountability or repercussion, then that allows us free rein to defend ourselves in such a manner that will rattle foreign hostiles and our government.
Apparently there's already a lot of retaliation towards what's going on in Britain from all the the migrants, the illegal, well, not illegal, but the migrants that are being let into the country, and how much problems they're causing for everybody, and all the rights that are being taken away.
To the very core.
There are already a bunch of people protesting.
Choose a side, because this is ultimately what it has come down to. See you on the 13th of September, and prepare your shields.
That is nuts. I wonder how many people are going to show up to this. Somebody earlier today said that they're shutting down all public transportation and public transit in anticipation for this event.
It won't matter. People will just walk there. It might take them an extra long time, but they'll get there.
Wow, that is quite the post. And we're going to dig into all of it, but
I'm kind of surprised this guy didn't get arrested for this, because their laws against this kind of stuff is actually kind of harsh from what I understand. They don't really allow big freedom of speech like that, so it kind of surprises me that this guy didn't get arrested.
Right from the outset, you can tell that there are people now working in the Metropolitan Police looking at that and thinking, oh God. Okay, let's dig into this. Ant talks about September.
I mean, look, if I was a police officer, I would be like, oh God, too. I'd be like, oh fuck, I gotta deal with more shit. Yeah, this day's obviously gonna be chaos for them.
Yeah, microphones are expensive.
13th. Now, why does he pick that day? Well, many of you will know that Tommy Robinson has organised a protest on the 13th of September in central London. And these protests are by far the biggest that we see in the country.
Man.
Usually around 250,000 people go to them, but
that's a lot.
Given the current mood, I wouldn't be surprised to see that at 500,000. And guess who's been asked to speak? Yeah, Ant Middleton. Ant Middleton will be taking to the stage on that day in front of potentially 500,000 people.
That's a lot.
Let me just find some footage from one of the past protests so you can see how big these really are.
You notice how they're actually flying their own flags here?
Holy shit.
There's some other countries' flags, but look at the majority. That's so many people.
I've been to a few of Tommy Robinson's protests in the past, and it is by far the largest single gathering of patriotic British people that you will find in one spot.
I bet.
And that one spot, by the way, is usually Parliament Square, right next to the Houses of Parliament. So I'm not saying for certain that Ant Middleton is trying to launch a political revolution on the 13th of September. But what I can say for sure is that if you wanted to do so, then that is exactly the right time and place to do it.
Yep.
You've got all of the right people in exactly the right place.
I don't think that they have enough of the public on their side yet. I know that there's a lot of people in Britain that might
Well, you say that. It depends on how many people actually show up to this thing on September 13th.
Agree with me on this, but I think that a lot of people are victims to their own echo chambers. I try to do my best to spend time researching and following and looking at opinions that are different than mine to see like kind of what the consensus of certain issues are. I think that this is still a contentious enough issue that it's gonna need to get worse before it gets better.
Yeah. And it's like that with a lot of places, a lot of countries, they have to go through a lot worse before it gets better. They have to have that snap to reality that tells them, okay, this is bad. Because there's just not enough people that understand how bad it is. It has to get to that point where it's already too late. And that's just the unfortunate fact of being a human, I guess.
I do. I think they're getting there. They're definitely getting there. But it's going to have to get a bit worse.
I will be there on the 13th of September, and I should stress that I'm not there to launch a political revolution or anything like that.
And by the way, this is my opinion. I'm a foreigner. I've never been to Britain.
500,000 people in the middle of town like that. That's a lot of people. That's a huge amount of people.
This is just like my vibe check from what I've seen on the internet and how I've seen, you know, footage. That's all.
Going to get involved. Hopefully I can meet some of you there. That'd be fantastic. But yeah, please do come along. Maybe we'll be witnessing history. Maybe we'll just have a good time.
Sure.
Who knows? Now, I'd planned in this video to talk all about how Tommy Robinson probably wouldn't allow some kind of revolution to start at one of his rallies. And the reason is relatively simple. I've been to a bunch of them in the past, and they are run like clockwork. Everything is peaceful. Everything is coordinated with the police. There's usually very...
The revolution would be a mistake. They just need to form a political party and then consolidate power around that party.
Yep.
That's what they really need to do. Like, you can't do it violently. I mean, a lot of these people don't have guns. You're going to instantly get crushed by the military.
Yep.
And then the people that are in charge are going to get arrested. Like, it's going to be over, right? I mean, like, and again, I'm being pragmatic here. Like, nothing's really going to happen if you do that. So, a foundation for a party? Yeah, that's what they really need to do. They need to make a new party. It's like, I mean, because in my opinion, this is like, we kind of had this happen in America. The MAGA Trump Republican Party is, in my opinion, a different Republican Party than what Mitt Romney ran as a Republican.
I agree. I think that the last thing that we need to do is settle for, and this goes for Britain as well, is to keep settling for the lesser of two evils. That mentality is bullshit. It's like saying you could either pick the big pile of shit in one hand or the big pile of shit in the other, but they're both piles of shit. So, like, that's not really what I would consider a democracy whenever, even before you get to vote on the person who's going to be, you know, possibly the president, they automatically get, like, for example, Bernie Sanders. But if Bernie was running for a different party altogether, and you could vote for that third party, and there's a chance that third party, other than like the Republican or Democrat, it was this third party, they can call whatever they want, was not the choice between two negatives, but actually worked for the people, like what the Democrats used to do, then obviously people would go for that. They're going to go for whatever suits, like the average Joe is going to go for whatever what benefits the average Joe, not what benefits the rich. Like, no one cares about the S&P 500. No one cares about stocks, because whenever you're trying to pay for your goddamn bills and you can't afford your bills and you're being censored left and right from talking about how you can't afford your bills, you've got a problem, a huge problem.
Republican on in like 2012, or what John McCain ran as a Republican on in 2008. Like, it is a fundamentally different platform. It's different. Yeah, like he effectively remade the...
And unless the Democrats get their shit together, there's the chance that the Democrats will never hold term in office again. They got to get away from this woke ideology slop, and they got to start going back to what put them in power, which is thinking for the people. That's why Trump became president, is because he kept saying he was going to pass things that were going to help people. Like no taxes on tips, no taxes for certain for overtime, trying to lower prices on housing and food. That's why he got into power. It had nothing to do with woke ideology. It had nothing to do with how psychotic he is. It had to do with the promises that he made to help Americans. The average American is more worried about bills than they are about some fucking retard in their video games. No one cares about that. They care about being able to afford a house again.
The Republican Party. He did. Can you explain the difference? Yeah, there's less of a focus on religion, less of a focus on sexual orientation, as long as it's not being pushed on other people. Like, there's no longer the anti-gay sentiment as much as there used to be. There's less of a focus on the social conditioning of, like making weed illegal. I mean, I think those are 3 of them that I would come with right there.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think also there's more, like, I would say there is more uncertainty with big business than there used to be.
Yeah.
And
And the reason for that is because most of the monopoly laws that were in place to keep them from becoming as big as they are to where they can feed money into the government are all gone. And even if they're still there, they're not being enforced because they've found so many loopholes out of being considered a monopoly by just breaking it up into shareholders and using one CEO to run the entire business that wasn't even the original founder, that at this point, there's not even a way to enforce any of the old monopolistic ideals that were implemented over 100 years ago. They have to implement new laws and stuff that break up a lot of these monopolies.
It's my vibe. Like, I'm not, again, like, I don't have, like, a fucking statistic to prove this, but it seems like the newer Republican Party...
And they're not going to make any statistics about this because they don't want it to be shown in the light. They would rather see a bunch of Americans fight over race politics and gender politics instead of the real problem, which is the rich and the poor. How, if you are even middle class now, you're still poor. You still can't afford to live off of one income. You're either the 1% or around the 1%, or you're just dirt poor.
Very, very anti-war. Basically, America first. More distrustful of corporations. Yep. I think that's kind of the changes that have happened. And so I feel like that if Britain really wants to have a chance at making a difference with this, that's kind of the direction I think they need to be going in, personally.
Few or even no arrests. All of the litter is collected at the end and disposed of. In fact, I would go as far as to say that your average migrant hotel protest with 2,000 people in attendance is more likely to turn sour than a Tommy Robinson organized protest with 200,000 people in attendance.
That's probably true because it's harder for bad actors to gain traction in a big community like that and in a big area.
Well, that's what a lot of these people that protested in California don't understand. Whenever your protest turns into violence and riots, with you burning down cars in the street and throwing bricks at police cars, most of the people that look at that, they're not saying that's a peaceful protest. They're not even saying that's a protest, that's a riot. You've lost all credibility that you're going to gain from doing these things because you're doing these things.
Area like that? Yeah, because it's easier for like a bad actor to like turn a small group of people, but when everybody's there consolidated against a certain cause, it's probably harder to do that. That's logical.
That's the difference. But then I saw a tweet this morning that Tommy had put out.
Uh-oh.
There needs to be a revolution. It's as simple as that.
Oh.
Oh, Tommy.
Oh.
Now, let me just be clear. In a few recent podcasts...
does there need to be a revolution or doesn't there? I think that's a bit excessive. I think whenever you call for calls, you try to act on calls of violence like this, this could be taken a lot of ways.
Kind of revolution. But he's always maintained that he means a peaceful political revolution, not a violent revolution, right? Or a coup d'etat, as it were. So is that what Ant Middleton is getting at?
5,000 people storming a building would definitely probably get what you want.
Is he saying, I'm joining the advance party,
500,000
starting
people.
my own political party? After all, he does say, now is the time to choose a side, right? So maybe that's what he's getting at. But let me just remind you of some of the other language he used, and you can decide for yourself whether that sounds like joining a political party.
What does it sound?
If certain individuals can ask for our throats to be with zero accountability or repercussions, then that allows us free rein to defend ourselves in such a manner that will rattle.
This is absolutely language that implies the reserving the right to use force. Preparing your shields, free rein to defend ourselves. I mean, this is absolutely like active political language. It's like, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. Like violence? Yeah, potentially, right?
I think that it's possible that he just worded it the way that he did. Because if you're an internet celebrity, like a lot of these people are, you're going to word things in a way that calls to action. or make it seem so vague that it sounds however you want it to sound. That's what I've learned a lot about, YouTube, is that you have to make things sound in a way that doesn't just get a rise, like, for example, out of people that watch Asmongold. You have to also make it so vague that they click on the video and they're like, oh, I get what's going on here. That's clever. And then they move on, But there's some people that click and then they're like, oh, I like the way he's doing this. I'm going to stay and watch, So he could just be trying to say it the way he's saying it to bring out more people that are more radical. It's possible.
Really?
Because maybe some people feel like he's not radical enough.
Government.
Yeah, I would say, like, this is just an objective truth. Like, I'm not making a judgment on this. I'm just saying that I think that's what it means.
I mean, I think that anything could happen. I look forward to seeing more about this topic on the September 13th. I hope that it's not, a call to violence. I really do. Hopefully, you guys over in that country, you can get your things together and do this peacefully without anyone getting hurt or harmed. Best of luck to y'all. We've got our own problems here in America. I want to say I don't care, but at the same time I do, because this is everyone's freedoms at stake, not just theirs. It's hitting us here in America with the censorship that's coming with the ID verifications on online stuff, with having to upload your ID and then do like a face scan, biometrics, like that. It's the whole shenanigans now. Like, it's everything. The countries are going to use whatever laws they can to censor and make it seem like they're not trying to control you, but in a sense they are. And we better, get ready for something possible like this to happen, whether it be violence or not. It's definitely coming our way. So I think I'm going to roll out of here for the weekend. Nigel, you said you wasn't going to be here Monday, so I'll see you Tuesday. We will still be on Monday. What I'm going to probably do is, even if nobody watches, I'll get on and keep reacting to stuff so that way I can edit it out for videos and hopefully bring in more peoples to the streams and stuff. But I am rolling out of here. Stay safe out there. Have a great weekend. Oh, no, what? Oh, so you not next week, the week after that. Okay, that makes sense. Not Friday, just Monday. Have a good weekend. You have a great weekend, Nigel. I'll see you on Monday. Stay safe out there if you go fishing. It's supposed to get some crazy weather, I believe, over the weekend. So stay safe out there. Try to avoid any illegal immigrant drivers. All right. All right. I'm rolling. Peace.